You know what it is. It's the people's house. Big Zeus. It's the people's house. Big Zeus. Pull to the gate of 1600 on the map. Supposed to be the people's house. I make it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers. I'm balling through the wall. Power through the people. Yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team. Red and white and blue. That's blue. Voices on the block, I'm breaking through, I got the keys. I'm in the lobby, yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Signing for the fam, yeah, you know my game's strong. Freedom is the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sleeping on the roof. Truth is hitting hard, I bury you inside the booth. Founding father vision, yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bag. I'm the voice of the hood, trying to come and storm the gates. Balance in my hand, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Legends walk these rooms, Lincoln, MLK, now it's photo ops, power plays all day. I'm trapping for the vote. Yeah, Big Zeus, it's the people's house. Zeus, powers in the air. Zeus, we knocking on your door. Zeus, we wanna hear your soul. Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People on them players, yeah, y'all think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600, got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall. They staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told. I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true. All I need is a spark. That's so true. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On my line, got the Constitution jumping. Yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks, and the rally outside, and the gates is locked. This power never divides. Sitting for the block, head buses make them wanna fight. 1600, do it all day, all night. The people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talk loud, time to clap. Fight for the keys, that's a fact. It's a
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Powers in the air.
Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. You know what we came to do.
It's the people's house. We
wanna hear your soul. We want to hear your soul, alright? Alright, let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have much time for the cooking and booking, but you know it's got to get done, alright? Alright, so lovely to see each and every single one of you, seriously.
Like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. When I know it's class, it's like every week I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class, you know it.
You can tell that I made it, look at my grass. Cars
Thank you, Marissa. How you doing, alright, seriously. Good morning, Stacy. Alright, nice to see you. Yvonne, nice to see you. Dr. Humor, nice to see you. Yeah, guess it going viral cause my son. Good morning, Camara. It is the Thunderdome.
Benjamin Franklin is my bestie.
And if they is my ex, that mean they left me. That's why they're the ex. They don't get replies. Let's go. Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited. Here it goes. Here's the Zeus hater. Right here. Here's Zeus hater.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days. That shit was radical.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
Oh! It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
Oh my God, it hurts every time. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host. I'm your pilot, and you know exactly why we are here. But before we get started, we always have to take care of the very important housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. The second H is because I'm humble. The last H is because, well, you know it. I am and will always remain the most handsome. All right? You know, it gets hot over here. That's why I have to, wipe the sweat off. Because, this is real work that I do over here, honestly. And you know exactly why we are gathered here in the Thunderdome, ladies and gentlemen. It is because we have to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and the legion of MAGA demons that support him. And these characters, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? I was covering it yesterday. And you know me. I don't like to get into the weeds, but I think what we've done so far, it deserves a round of applause. W to the chat. We have exposed every single MAGA demon on TikTok, and when they come over to this platform now, I am 100% certified confident that they do not want to reveal who they are. But mark my word, ladies and gentlemen, they are here. They are among us. They are screen recording you, me, everyone, because these people are some of the most, I would say, low-life individuals I have ever ran across in all of my years on this beautiful earth, W Zeus. And so I'm going to make sure that they continue to feel Zeus as much as I can, all right? Because guess what? Believe it or not, they know that I am an overwhelming presence. Yes, I'm overwhelming their MAGA minds. They're exploding. All right. And not just me, but all of you, because we're bringing so much truth out and we're doing it without fear or fervor. We're just getting out here and we're letting them know under no circumstances will we surrender this great country of ours to a bunch of evil hypocrites. Absolutely not. W Zeus. So I'm going to say this once again, because I know the people in the back have a very, very difficult time hearing this. You can screen record me all you want to. I post the videos on my YouTube. So think about how smart you look, right? You screen record the videos I'm posting on you. And then you know what they do? They put words on the videos that they post as if somehow that makes them seem intelligent. No, it just shows that you're obviously not that bright. All right. It's not that difficult. Listen, even a monkey could take a screenshot and write words on it. That doesn't do anything. What should worry you, honestly, is your soul. And so I'll say this to all of the hypocrites out there that continue to act as if they have a problem with me while at the same time giving Donald Trump a green light to ruin this great country of ours. And you know what they do? Thank you for the gifts. They hate the fact that you all send me, you give me, you support me. Now, let me ask the audience, because we got to get this out there. Does Big Zeus ever walk around on TikTok saying, hey, I need gifts? Do I ever ask all of you to send me gifts? No, I don't do it. Do I do it? Do I actually have anyone, I would say, look at that, look at that, look at that. No, I don't. But I'm very grateful. But these people, they will lie through their teeth. And it's starting to sink in on me. It's starting to sink in. They hate to see people that are actually free thinkers out here. They just can't stand to see people who are free thinking, and I do this routine, ladies and gentlemen, right? And this is the simplest way I can get it across to these people, because these are some low life hypocrites, so-called Christians. If I do like this means no strings are attached. Unlike you, I am not a hand puppet. No one's controlling Big Zeus. Who tells Big Zeus to wake up every day and do this? Big Zeus. Yeah, it's me that tells myself to do that. Can you believe it? Yeah. W Zeus in the chat. While y'all sitting up late at night, arguing amongst yourselves, and still Donald Trump got these people in the base. Basically, he got them in a bit of a nasty situation. And I didn't know this sickness was this bad, but these people stay up all night. They run around on backup account, burner accounts. They stay up in these lives and they argue about deportation. They argue about the Democrats. They argue about Hillary Clinton. They argue about Joe Biden. And guess what's happening in the background? Meanwhile, their 401ks are disappearing. Meanwhile, the egg prices are going through the roof. Meanwhile, grocery prices are going through the roof, right? And there's so many other things that I could get into. But before I do that, I got to give these low lifes one more chance. to get it right. If you do not like the way that I am running my broadcast, do me a huge favor. Actually, do America a huge favor. Just leave my live. Just leave this live. W's in the chat for Chris. Leave this live and go back to doing what you were doing, you bunch of miserable individuals. All right? You unlovable creatures. Go back and hang out with these fake TikTok hosts. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I got some sad news before I do the PSA announcement. The person that I had an incident with this weekend on TikTok, what was his name? Wildman69. I don't like to say their names, but I just got to say this. Wildman, he beat me. He beat Ange up this weekend real bad. I mean, he talked about us like we were worse than a dog. And I was just there to try to help his son because I actually have a soft spot in my heart for children and people that need help, right? And when I walked away from the live, I just shook my head and I said, this is some sick stuff, but you know what? May God be with them and hopefully God touched their heart and heals them. But then after my broadcast, because, after I left, he said that he won. He said, I won, Zeus. I won. And I said, okay, fine. If you feel like you win, that's totally fine. Then after my live yesterday where I gave them a stern rebuke, it was just a stern rebuke, all right? Basically saying, be a better parent. Be a better parent to your son, all right? Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, and I'd hate to say this, you know what he did? He blocked me. He blocked Big Zeus. So sorry. I can't believe. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe he blocked me. He beat me up this weekend, and then he blocked me. Actually, it's W Zeus. I don't care. Care less. You could block me, but you can't block God, right? And I'll say this before I go any further.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Hey, speaking of that, you know what? I might have to play that song that I made, Ange. You said it right. What was my song? Let me tell them. Let me go ahead and get that going. You know what? You brought up a good point, Ange. I should play my song to these hypocrites out here. Let's see if I got it on standby. All right. Let's see if Big Zeus has it on standby. All right. Yeah. Oh, I might have something. Let's see. Do I have it? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Did I tell you all about this? I want all of my haters to hear this song, listen to it. DJ plays it in his live. The real DJ plays it, all right? But make no mistake, I reserve the right to do this, MAGA.
Who really in control?
And they know who...
I'ma block you if I want to. I'ma block you if I want to.
Yeah, I'ma block you if I want to. It's treason to me.
That's treason to me.
Yeah. I'ma block you if I want to, and you know who you are.
I'ma block you if I want to.
Keep crying, yeah, cause it's treason to me. That's treason to me.
I gotta watch how I move when I'm around these squares.
Yeah.
I gotta know the rules.
Yeah. You see, what they didn't understand is I've been here, done that, and did it first. I'm the king of block. All right, W Zeus in the chat. I got a song for each and every single one of you MAGA demons, all right? And so what I'll stick to, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm so sorry for all the people out there that honestly, you look up to me and you see how I carry myself, and you're saying, like, Zeus, why are you doing this? Everything I'm doing right now, there's a reason behind it, because we just got to go ahead and nail it, nip this in the bud, all right? And we'll get on to the politics, but you've gotten your warning. You can do whatever you want to do, but at the end of the day, we're going to get out here and keep waking up the hearts and souls of the American people and making sure that they understand just how dangerous this current administration is. And we are not going to sit back and let you keep making excuses for your incompetence. All right. We're not going to let you blame us. We're not going to let you blame anyone. We're going to make sure you take full accountability for your actions on this platform. Okay. Now, what I wanted to start this show off with, ladies and gentlemen, is, and this is a reminder to, hold on, let me get it all ready. This is a reminder to everybody out there. I still have my hammer, and you will be judged. You will be judged. And I'm going to help that happen, all right? And not just me, but the people that I bring up on my platform. We will continue to judge MAGA, and you know where you're going. Straight to hell. So what I'll do first is this. We got a story about a Trump-supporting business owner who has a message to Donald Trump because it's starting to hit home. Yeah, a lot of the things Donald Trump is doing is starting to hit home, all right? So this happened yesterday, looks like on CNN. They bring this gentleman, Steven, on there. Hey, what would you like what would you like to say to Donald Trump? All right, and you know what this is about? This is about the tariffs. Yeah. It turns out, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the tariff is an additional tax on the American people, and it's perfectly designed to make anybody that's a business owner go bankrupt. Can you believe that? That's what a tariff is. A tariff is a tool in Donald Trump's toolbox to make sure all of you business owners, including myself, go bankrupt. Believe it or not. And so listen to this Trump supporter who has some choice words for Donald Trump, all right? And then we'll get to judgment.
2016, 2020, 2024. What do you say to the Trump supporters out there who say, hey, he brought up tariffs all the time in the campaign? I mean, what did you think as a business owner when you heard that? Were you skeptical of it, or did you think they would be more targeted like they were in the first term? How do you respond to that?
He voted for Trump 2 times.
Us e-commerce retailers, we don't like cheap China goods flooding the market. It creates really hard competition, and that makes it hard for us. So we're happy with Trump cracking down on that. But the thing that I'm trying to reiterate is that the speed of which it's happening is very difficult for businesses to react to.
Really?
What we need is a 90-day off-ramp, just like every other country's, and then we can adjust. We can start ordering inventory.
So he's begging his dear leader to give him a 90-day off-ramp. Yeah, he voted for Trump twice, he said, all right? So now because it's affecting him and his business, he's starting to have a little bit of that mental fog that he was in, the one that Joe Biden put him in supposedly. Now the fog is starting to clear, and he's starting to look at his bottom line and realizing that his relationship with his family, his wife might want to leave him, because guess what? When you're broke, there's no love, right?
In different countries, and we can be with him in his goal of, bringing onshore talent and onshore manufacturing. But right now, the speed of which he's doing it is making it very difficult, and a lot of businesses won't make it 90 days if this continues. President Trump, as a longtime supporter of your mission and to make America great again, I want to be a part of that with you. But e-commerce companies all across the United States, we need more time. Give us a 90-day off-ramp to get off of our China goods, and just tell us the plan. If you tell us the plan, we can operate and we can know what to do. The hard part about everything that's happening right now is we're trying to manage our business from day to day, and that's very difficult. And a lot of small businesses, they don't have the cash flow to get through a 90-day negotiation, and it's going to devastate a lot of businesses like Cuts. I'm in a group chat with $1 billion worth of small businesses, and there's several in there that are telling me, hey, Stephen, 30 days or 60 days, we might not be able to make it. There's been too many adjustments to the supply chain that are just being really devastating on our business. 145% is essentially an embargo, and by cutting off our products to be able to sell them, it's going to be really difficult. So we're with you. We want to be a part of your mission to make America great again, but we just need more time.
Oh, Stephen. Maybe you didn't know this, Stephen, but you will be judged. All of you Trump voting liars, hypocrites, cheaters, fraudsters, scheming, scamming, conniving, demon worshiping MAGA demons, you will be judged. And judgment has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen, I don't know what the heck is going on with you, Stephen, but you know what I think?
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
That's it, Stephen. Everybody on the face of the earth knows Donald Trump doesn't even have a plan, Steven. You're asking this guy behind me that I have propped up there so you can look at him while I totally just destroy him with all of his lies. I do it every morning, right? I put a picture of Trump in the background so that all this truth that we're showing you and telling you, you're like, wow, he did it again every single day. Flawless victory. Steven, the whole world knows Donald Trump does not have a plan. And you knew that when you saw the numbers he was using. The numbers he is using aren't even a reflection of the actual tariffs that the other countries have on us. It's about the trade imbalance. And he is running around here telling us that we're taking a L because guess what, Steven? Your business, according to Donald Trump, is losing money. You know, the business that you were running under President Biden. You know, he says things like Biden cost this country $5 billion or so a day. So, Steven, I'm going to go ahead and judge you on top of this money situation you're in. You're never going to get a 90-day plan out of this guy because there is no plan. It's all up here, Steven. We all know it. And it's based on his interpretation of whatever things he's got going on. And so, Steven, I'm going to do this and then we're going to, take care of business and move on. Steven, the plan is, and I'm going to give it to you, the next 90 days, Steven, Donald Trump's plan for you is for you to file bankruptcy. Chapter 11. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send Steven straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA David.
I know y'all screen recording out there, so make sure when you screen record and post this video, you put nice, sweet captions. All right, just write W Zeus when you screen record me and post it on your profiles that only get 5 or 10 views that you can. I don't know what you're doing with it, but yeah, I know I'm giving them a hard time, but when they screen record me and post it, you know what I think to myself? I say, when they meet their maker and they're going to try to go up to heaven and they're going to try to get into those pearly gates, there's not going to be any reason for them to use when God says, you know what, get on your knees, because he's going to really do the judging. Get on your knees, and you know what he's going to do next? I'm going to need you to get on that Trump train you were on and go straight to hell. And he's going to wave you off like this. Goodbye. You're on a Trump train to hell. Because the evidence that you got the truth will be on your TikTok pages. Yeah, the evidence that you got this information is going to be all over your TikTok pages. And he's going to is this your account? Yeah, that's my account. Was Big Zeus and his friends telling you this? Yes. And you chose to ignore it? Yeah. Then go straight to hell. The Bible says, in the last days, many are going to come. And Jesus, we are yours. Didn't we perform miracles in your names and do all this other stuff in your name? And then Jesus is going to say something like this. He's going to say, depart from me, thy works are of iniquity, because your lips, they say one thing, but your heart says another. All right. And you know what I mean? That's a demon in the chat right there. That's a demon right there. MAGA is protected and Trump. Oh, okay. You think that too? Well, hell's getting bigger every day. All right. That's demonic talk right there. Let's move it on, ladies and gentlemen. The other thing that we needed to discuss, ladies and gentlemen, has to do with these widespread delays at Newark Airport. Did you hear about this?
Were, quote, traumatized after equipment failures cut off communication with planes 2 weeks ago. And now 5 controllers are out on paid leave. And customers at Newark are dealing with another week of disastrous delays. CNN's Bryn Gingras is on the ground at Newark Liberty International Airport, and CNN's Pete Montine is here with the latest. Pete, let me start with you. You've been on top of this story all day. Tell us exactly what you've learned about why exactly these delays are happening and what in the hell is going on at Newark.
Well, the FAA is now essentially confirming our reporting that really paints the best picture yet of why these delays have persisted for days.
Wow.
A source familiar with an incident last Monday tells me that this all goes back to a period of time when controllers in the facility responsible for flights arriving and departing from Newark Liberty International Airport lost radio communications and their radar systems for an undisclosed time last Monday. That led to 5 air traffic controllers in that radar facility to take what's called trauma.
Wow.
They are now on leave for the next 45 days, something they're legally entitled to do. I want you to listen now to the new audio we just got from liveatc.net, and I want you to hear the frustration of the air traffic controller in this Newark facility that controls flights going in and out of Newark. And he's telling a smaller plane, a general aviation plane, that he does not have the ability to see that plane on radar and to essentially go away.
Watch this.
We lost our radar and it's not working correctly. Radar service terminates, squawk VFR, freeze change approved. If you want a Bravo clearance, you can just call the towers when you get closer. Okay, I'll wait for that frequency from you, okay? Okay, no, just squawk VFR, look up the tower frequencies, and we don't have a radar, so I don't know where you are.
We also heard today from Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer, who says while the FAA has been investigating its own incident here, the Department of Transportation Office of Inspector General now has to launch a probe immediately, he says. He also points back to a move by the FAA last July in which it moved the facility responsible for Newark airspace from Long Island to Philadelphia. The whole idea there was to shore up staffing shortages. Schumer says this, in essence, backfired. There are some pretty big questions here that people are asking about. Why can't controllers be drag and dropped, essentially, from one place to another? These are location-specific jobs. It's not that easy. The FAA is not really detailing a fix in the near term right now, Jake.
And Bryn, another day of major delays at Newark International Airport. What are you hearing from customers?
Here it goes.
Yeah, Jake, let's put it this way. If you have a flight in or out of Newark that hasn't been delayed or canceled, go outside, buy a lottery ticket right now, because that's all we're seeing on the boards as you look at the Terminal A departures. We're in Terminal B. Now, Terminal A here at Newark typically has those domestic flights, but you can see delay, delay, delay. It gets even worse.
Delay, 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 delay. Ladies and gentlemen, what we are dealing with right now is the most incompetent administration we have ever seen on the face of the earth. Why are all these delays happening? Oh, because you took Doge in there and did a huge wrecking ball, and you basically gutted a lot of positions, and now people are afraid to even show up and go to work because guess what? This person right behind me has no plan in terms of how to fix this, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, just another reminder of why we got to send these Trump supporters where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA daily.
Have you figured it out, MAGA, that there's nothing good that's going to come out of this administration? Have you figured it out, whether we're talking the tariffs, whether we're talking about what's happening at the FAA? You all are worshiping and following somebody that has no clue what he's doing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll get to I'll talk to the people in the audience, but what I want to do is let's talk about this interview yesterday Donald Trump gave, when he announced that the NFL draft will happen, in Washington, D.C. There's a couple of parts about this interview that I need to make sure we get on the record, and then we'll do the judgment. So the first part has to do with tariffs and the film industry. It has to do with tariffs and the film industry. And for some reason, ladies and gentlemen, I do not understand why he can't just say the word industry. He says industry. I don't know why he puts that emphasis on it, but it's to me something, it just seems to me that there's a cognitive issue with this guy, all right? He struggles to say the word industry.
Tariffs on the film industry, kind of how that would work.
Well, that's a different story, but our film industry has been decimated by other countries, taking them out, and also by incompetence, like in Los Angeles. The governor is a grossly incompetent man. He's just allowed it to be taken away from, Hollywood. Hollywood doesn't do very much of that business. They have the nice sign and everything's good, but they don't do very much. A lot of it's been taken to other countries, and a big proportion. And I'm actually going to meet with some because, there's some advantages, I guess, and I'm not looking to hurt the industry. I want to help the industry.
Here he says it, industry.
But they're given financing by other countries. They're given a lot of things, and the industry was decimated. If you look at how little is done in this country now, you think we were the ones. We used to do 100, not long ago, 100%. Now we do Almost like very little. It's shocking. Are you in that business too? Because he's in so many businesses. You could explain it, but it's not a good situation. So we're going to meet with the industry. I want to make sure they're happy with it because we're all about jobs. That's all. It's very important. It's a big industry, but it's an industry now that's it's really left. It's abandoned the USA where it started, and we'll get it back. Yeah, please.
Thanks, Mr. President. First, I just want to thank you for letting.
Next, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get to him. The photo he posted of himself as the Pope. We'll get that on the record. I mean, this is evidence there's a cognitive issue. And the thing about the incident where he posted the image of himself as the Pope, just listen to how he takes accountability for doing it.
Of you looking like the Pope.
Oh, I see. You mean they can't take a joke? You don't mean the Catholics. You mean the fake news.
He says, "Oh, they can't take a joke." What? So this is a joke to Donald Trump? Got it. And so we'll get this.
Yeah. Not the Catholics loved it. I had nothing to do with it. Somebody made up a picture of me dressed like the Pope, and they put it out on the internet. That's not me that did it. I have no idea where it came from. Maybe it was AI, but I know nothing about it. I just saw it last evening. Actually, my wife thought it was cute. She said, "Isn't that nice?"
My question about
Actually, I would not be able to be married, though. That would be a lot. I'd have to the best of my knowledge, popes aren't big on getting married, are they? Not that we know of. No.
Yeah, it was right after the Pope's funeral, and he's telling a joke. The most unholy person on the planet is joking. This is why we have to do shows like this to expose the hypocrisy of you MAGA demons. This is why I say God's judgment is on you. I would never want to be a Trump supporter right now through these turbulent times that we're going through right now. I'd hate to be a Trump supporter knowing that my allegiance to Donald Trump basically has me guaranteed a first class trip to hell. Because that's where a lot of you are going, honestly. I'm Triple H. I have no reason to lie to you about it, but the good Lord put it on my heart to tell y'all going straight to hell. W Zeus. Z-Pac, you said you guys can't take a joke, and then he cited the person that we all know can't take a joke. Isn't that so funny? MAGA can't take a joke, huh? You know what's going to be funny? Is when their businesses go bankrupt. That's a joke, right? Yeah, your wife leaving you, your husband leaving you. That's a joke, right, MAGA? Oh, because you know what they are. They're all professional victims at the end of the day. Why are you suffering? Oh, because the Democrats know you're suffering because of Donald Trump. W Zeus. All right, and then we will get to this new scheme, this new scam that Donald Trump rolled out. It's called "I'm going to send you to a country that we believe you belong to and give you $1,000, right? And this is only supposedly available for people who are in the country illegally. And I just want to make sure I clear this up. Yesterday, I posted a video and I said, well, if he is supposed to deport 20 million people and give those 20 million people $1,000, we're talking about $20 billion. Do we have an extra $20 billion? We won, you lost, cry more. Grande, send me a guest request. I promise you, you will not feel that way after you come up here and talk to me, Grande. I promise you. Because guess what? If you haven't heard, a lot of Trump supporters, they've been blocking Big Zeus lately. So Grande, if I were you, I'd do me a huge favor, Grande. Why don't you sit your special behind down and listen to this special broadcast? So what we'll do is we'll listen to Donald Trump talking about his latest scheme, and then we'll get to judgment. All right. And Grande, this is for you because, with a name like Grande, I figured it does apply to you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Tell me about a program that's just been introduced to give undocumented immigrants living in the United States
about me
$1,000 to self-deport. Can you just tell us a little bit?
Oh, the new program, yeah.
$1,000 to self-deport.
We have millions of people that have come into this country illegally through an administration that didn't know what they were doing. They didn't have a clue. And now we find out officially they didn't because the president was incompetent, but I could have told you that before. And they've allowed millions and millions of people to pour in, murderers, drug dealers.
Are you thinking about selling your home?
We gotta pay the bills. Hold on. I'm gonna get this going though.
Biggest drug dealers in the world, actually. Terrorists come in, emptied prisons from many countries, not just South America, all over the world. They emptied their prisons into our beautiful USA. And to get that many people out, 21 million people we think the real number is, but let's say 3 million of them are serious criminals. 11,888 murderers, many of whom murdered more than one person. It's hard to believe we have to even talk about this when we're talking about something so beautiful, but it's something we have to talk about having to do with the country because it's very important. So they came in by the millions illegally into our country. They just flowed in through an open border policy that was insane. And what we've done is we've offered, you know the numbers, but because we're taking them out by the thousands, we're being obstructed. It's very unfair what's happening because the court system it's very unfair. We have to get them out fast. These are
Okay, first of all, I'm upset because all we're asking him to do is give us an answer about how you are giving immigrants that are in the country illegally $1,000 American dollars. That's what I want to know. That's what Big Zeus wants to know. How are you giving $21 billion to these people? And this is where I catch you Trump supporters once again being hypocrites. So you can't get your $5,000 Doge checks, because remember, you're still standing at your mailboxes waiting for those golden envelopes to have Elon Musk and Trump's signature on it, right? You can't get your Doge money, but these immigrants who you've went through hell and hot water to demonize, they can get a check for $1,000, and y'all are okay with that. Y'all okay with that, MAGA? They could get money, but you can't? Wasn't that the whole reason y'all were angry with them? W. Zeus in the chat. And Trump isn't giving any clear answer as to how this program works, all right? But he's digging himself deeper and deeper into a ditch.
These are people that are killing, and they've already killed many people in this country. Illegal immigrants that came in illegally through an open border policy, which is insane. We talk about common sense. That's not common sense. And they came in from the Congo, all over Africa, all over Asia.
Did I catch that? Did he say they came in from the Congo, all over Africa? Hold on, champ. Relax with that. You got see.
All over Africa, all over Asia, all over South America, parts of Europe. They flowed in and just walked right into our country. We had no idea who they were. 21 million at least. That's probably a low number.
So he said 21 million, right? So if you give 21 million people $1,000, that's actually more. I said 20 billion. It's $21 billion. Has anyone seen funding allocated in the budget that they're doing right now? Has anyone seen money set aside for this? I mean, let me ask the audience, is this a good use of American taxpayers' money? I got to ask the chat. Is it a good use of taxpayers' money for Donald Trump to give $21 billion away to immigrants? Because MAGA seems to think this is a great idea. Okay, overwhelming W to the chat. Thank you. But you know the Trump supporters are in here and they're silent as a church mouse because they dare not get up here and try to explain how this program works because Donald Trump can't even explain it. I'm trying to get Donald Trump to just nail it down and explain how this program works. Okay, what do I got to do to get the money? All right, because to be quite honest, I went on the internet and I tried to get the money myself. All right, W. Zeus. And it's like every time I try to actually go along with one of these things that I think might be worth my time. You know, I told you the story about how I go to the grocery store and I try to get the eggs for 38 cents because he said that they came down 93, 94. Now he switched it to 87%. And the manager at the store looked at me like I was a fool. Even though I played the clip of Trump saying it, the manager still wouldn't give me the eggs for 38 cents. And so yesterday, $1,000. All right, champ. How do you get the money? I go onto the internet and I'm trying to get the $1,000 And I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. Another scam. But please let Donald Trump explain it to you, MAGA.
You hear lower numbers than that. It's not. That's a low number. But many are really serious criminals and terrorists and people from jails. They emptied out jails. Venezuela, their crime is down 72% because they took all the criminals off the streets and the gangs and they dumped them into our country.
That's not true.
So we're getting them out. It's a very difficult thing with the courts because the courts have all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they said, maybe you have to have trials.
So is Donald Trump just finding out that there are courts in the United States of America? Because he said all of a sudden, again, when he meets his maker, it's going to be the same thing. Weren't you sitting in a courtroom in front of the world? So so the court isn't a new thing then, Donald Trump. It's actually been around for a long time, been around before you, Trump. It's not all of a sudden. So once again, caught in another lie. Everybody knows courts have been around for a long time, all right?
We're going to have 5 million trials. Doesn't work.
5 million? He said you're going to have 5 million trials. I'm like, wait a second. Didn't he just say there's 21 million people in here? You would have to go to 21 million trials. So once again, his math isn't mathing. His logic is falling apart. And he knows this is nothing but a grift, all right?
The country left. But hopefully the Supreme Court will save it. But what they've done is a very, very serious thing. Past presidents took out hundreds of thousands of people when needed. You look at Eisenhower, you look at many of them, and they took people out and they didn't go through any of this. But what we thought we'd do is a self-deport, where we're going to pay each one a certain amount of money, and we're going to get them a beautiful flight back to where they came from, and they have a period of time.
Oh! See, when he says, I'm going to give them a beautiful flight where they came from, it's sort of like this. Is the word beautiful, does that mean a good thing in his world? Because I also know that they're currently working on a big, beautiful bill in Congress, right? That has all the bells and whistles that he wants. So when he says he's giving these people a big, beautiful flight or a beautiful flight back to where they came from, it almost sounds like it's a all expense paid vacation, all right, with a check for $1,000, which explains why I decided to go ahead and check into it, because who doesn't want a nice all expense paid vacation and an additional $1,000? I'm like, hold up, champ. I could use some of that too, because these tariffs that you got going on out here, they're just doing a number on us. So he's saying it's a nice, beautiful trip, all right?
And if they make it, we're going to work with them so that maybe someday, with a little work, they can come back in if they're good people, if they're the kind of people that we want in our company, industrious people that could love our country. And if they're not, they won't. But it will give them a path to becoming, to coming back into the country. If they miss that limit, they're going to be taken out of our country. And they will never get a path to come back in. And it'll be a much tougher process. And it's called self-deportation. And by doing that, you're talking about so many millions of people. By doing that, we've taken out thousands of terrorists, drug lords. What we've done is amazing. And as your Tom Homan and Kristi Noem have done an incredible job. They really have done an incredible job. But it's a hard job. So we're going to have a self-deportation where they deport.
I gotta pay the bills. He said it's a self-deportation.
Out of our country, and we'll work with them, and we're going to try. And if we think they're good, if they have the people we want in our country, they're going to come back into our country. We'll give them a little easier route. But if they don't work, and if we take them out after the date, then they're never coming back, and that's the least of the problems they're going to have. Yeah, please.
So all of this seems like maybe he should be working with Congress to come up with a path for citizenship and, and address the issue with immigration. But instead, he's randomly coming up with a way to pay people to, quote, self-deport. Now, I just got to ask a question before we get to judgment because, it's time. self-deporting. Isn't that almost like destroying yourself? Like, isn't that like basically doing yourself in, right? Just basically, self-elimination, right? Again, this is why I've been saying this to you Trump supporters, seriously. Who would willfully surrender themselves to the current administration, knowing that this administration, and he says, just take his word, you'll get the $1,000, knowing this administration isn't even obeying the Supreme Court? You hear what I just said, MAGA? And anybody that's going along with this, do you really trust Donald Trump to give you the $1,000, knowing he's out here openly defying the Supreme Court? Think about what I'm saying to you. Because if you believe he'll give you that $1,000, to be quite honest, you deserved whatever happens as a result of opening that app, entering whatever information you got going on in there. After you've heard about him randomly picking up people in this country and just doing whatever he wants with them, whether they're students, whether they're people tourists and visiting, or people who got an administrative error with, right? And he just did it. If you trust this administration and you sign up for this nonsense, you deserve whatever happens to you. But in the meantime and in between time, what I'll do is I'll get straight to judgment. All right. For the President of the United States, once again, Zeus has caught you lying to the American people with multiple schemes involved. This one involves $1,000. You got the terrorists destroying this country, and all you care about is the grifting. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Judgment time. You will be judged.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, W. Zeus in the chat. So, now that we've gotten that out of the way, make no mistake, we cannot go around and believe anything Donald Trump says, all right? It's all just, at the end of the day, tied to a grift. And his supporters, they're out here licking their wounds. We already heard a story about Steven. He has an e-commerce business, and that business is currently going down the drain because of the tariffs. I got one question. Are there any Trump supporters in the chat right now that want to come up here and try to climb Mount Olympus and face judgment? Where are you at? Because this is now your time to do it. If you want to come and try to face judgment, all right, and climb Mount Olympus, please come. All I ask you to do is to come up here, look up Valente Valenzuela. Okay, I'll have to check that out, Jim. All right, let me see. Let me go to the box. Who is this? Live to Learn. Good morning. How are you? Oh, okay. Live to Learn didn't want to come up here. All right. Well, I'll start with my good friend, Brother Attacking. How are you doing, Brother Attacking? How are you doing?
What's up?
What's going on?
Let me play something for you. Okay.
Yes.
You know how the Republicans aren't accepting the fact that Donald Trump is going to try to deport United States citizens?
Correct.
Okay, hold on.
Or they'll say it was justified.
But literally, they just voted. They being the other ones, not us, because we were all on the right side of history. They just voted to give Trump the ability, legally, to give him the ability to deport U.S. citizens. That is what they voted for. A bunch of elected U.S. representatives. That is how they voted. Am I telling a lie, Eric, or not?
No, I got my sound here. Mouthful. No, I'm stunned.
I'm not. But I'm glad that you.
So this, I caught this yesterday. I put it on my page again. Eric said the same thing a couple days ago. The thing is this. Donald Trump wants to have the ability to deport. Carmi, or whatever your name is. It's kind of funny how the Republicans voted on it in that session. And you're telling us we're wrong when they're the ones saying Yeah, they voted on it. The Democrats didn't vote on it. The Republicans want to push it forward. You don't like it? They're in discussions to do other things, and that's one of the policies that they want to put forth for Donald Trump to have. Does it bother you? I can tell it doesn't, because you're saying it's a lie, even though they're coming out and saying exactly what's happening. So the thing is this: the people on the right, the Trump supporters, as you and I know, they don't care about anything that he's doing. He's now saying, "Oh, so what if you can't buy $30 for your kid? Buy two at a higher price. Big deal."
Donnie
Who
$2.
cares? Who cares if a stroller costs more money? Who cares? Get over it.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to suck it up. That's all he's saying.
Yeah, and what do his supporters feel about knowing that he's going to ruin their Christmas? It seems like they're okay with it, right?
They're okay with it because it's Donald Trump doing it. If it was Joe Biden, they'd pitch a fit. Trump's doing it; they're accepting it, and literally they say, "So what if we have to go through a little bump here and there? Donald Trump is making America great again."
Yep.
And again, this Mr. Abrego Garcia.
Yeah.
They won't discuss the Constitution and due process. They always have to bring him up. It's always about him. It's not about the Constitution. It's not about due process. They have to bring him up. They have to talk about him. Oh, look, he assaulted his wife. Yeah, but so did Trump.
Oh.
So did Trump.
Oh.
Let's put up the record. Who has a criminal background? Not Mr. Garcia. And if you read the court document instead of being selective on what you read, even Homeland Security said where it says criminal history, no criminal history.
You had that screenshot, right?
I have. I've put the PDF reader and I've made videos of it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you have that on you attacking, I would once again like to enter that on the record as evidence, because I don't want to hear them bringing up anything about Abrego Garcia again. If you don't have it, that's fine. But everyone needs to understand he does not have a criminal record. And isn't it funny? They're bringing out all of this evidence of him being pulled over, right? They're bringing evidence about him and his wife's relationship out. And you're saying, why didn't you give this to the courts a long time ago?
Well, the thing is this. He was pulled over. But was he arrested?
No. And it seemed to me like a man in distress. You know how hard it is to survive in America, right? And he's just trying to make ends meet. And they just, you hear the cops making little remarks about what he's doing and they suspect he's doing. I said, welcome to America. Welcome to being in America. This is what it's really like to be a person of color, always under the scrutiny, always being suspected of doing something. But then in the meantime, you go around and vote for this guy who clearly he's legally a criminal, right?
He's legally a criminal through the court system, our court system. They all of a sudden don't like. Yes, he is a criminal.
Let's just call it. Just call it like that, MAGA. Why do Trump supporters have a hard time saying I support crime?
Right, exactly. And again, don't make it about Mr. Garcia. Make it about the Constitution. Why can't you stay on topic? It's about the Constitution. It's not about Mr. Garcia. It's about the Constitution and due process. Why do you guys have to pivot from that? His entire record is visible. He doesn't have a record in El Salvador, doesn't have a record in America. Unlike Donald Trump, he's never assaulted a woman in a fashion like Donald Trump has. Donald Trump has done it multiple times.
What about his wife, Ivana? Could you tell the story about what he did to his wife, according to what we know? Do you know that story?
I put it. I had.
Okay, listen up. Okay. So MAGA, I want you to listen to this, and they're screen recording this attacking. So.
Oh well. I have the PDF reader read the court case in regards to that. It said that in her statement that he raped her, after a bad visitation in regards to the hair plugs, and he raped her. But the thing is this, she also, because of the pressure of you're not going to get any money through the divorce, she, of course, softened it, saying that, I'm not saying that he did that on a legal basis or legal action, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, she called her friends and said that he did this. So how come every person who comes out, and especially his wife or ex-wife, is going to change the story to make him not look as bad? Because for any human being to grape your own wife, that's horrible. And Michael Cohen, his buddy at the time, makes the comment, "You can't grape your wife." Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can grape your own wife.
Yeah.
By physically abusing her and forcing her into that action. That's grape, no matter how you like it. So the thing is this. Every time something comes up with Trump, you say it's a witch hunt, it's a lie, it's fake.
Yeah.
Now you have him having Enrico Torrio over at Mar-a-Lago, the guy who was sentenced for 22 years.
He was at Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah, he was at Mar-a-Lago having dinner. Yeah.
So he's dining with criminals.
He's dining with white supremacist groups, yes.
You see, MAGA, and this is why we say it the way we say it.
Yeah.
You will be judged because you got universal laws at play. Living a lie, eventually you're going to be held accountable for doing it.
Yeah, but I also want you to think about something what you said about the $1,000.
Okay.
When it comes to Donald Trump and negotiation to pay for things, he doesn't keep his promise. He's going to do something.
No.
He's going to tell somebody to turn yourself in. I'll give you $1,000, and then we'll do paperwork to bring you back in the legal fashion, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, it ain't.
You don't think they'll get the $1,000?
He ain't going to get the $1,000, and they're not going to put him in a place where they can do it in the legal fashion according to them. And why are they putting these people in a jail for coming across the border, which goes against with our Constitution, what they can do?
Yeah.
Okay? And they can, and why are you?
Because they should just deport them. But when you actually send them to be incarcerated, that's a completely different ballgame.
What upsets me is this. Hold on here. Let me show something.
Oh, you need the big screen. You need the big box.
No, it's on. I forgot I didn't save it. The thing is this. Mr. Garcia, seeing how you guys talk about that, when he was granted the ability to stay here by that immigration judge.
Yeah.
In the comments from the judge, said that he, Mr. Garcia, has followed through with every appointment to meet with the immigration people, ICE, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
How come they're taking people who are doing the process so they can stay here in the United States? How come they're taking the people that are going to ICE or the immigration office to do their checkup, to do the follow-up, to make sure that they're checking in like they're supposed to? Why are they taking them?
I was led to believe, and to follow up on what you're saying, I was led to believe that he was only going to go after the bad ones. Remember throughout the campaign, and we brought people up here, and I wish I'm going to go find the video. There's a Latina lady that came up here, and I tried to warn her she's going to end up on the list, and she said, no, I'm not a bad one. I'm doing this. I've been in here since 1980, and I said, ma'am, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Oh no, he's not going after the quote bad ones.
No, he's just going after anybody. But let me say this, and then I'm going to drop. I want you guys to think about something. I saw a video. Somebody has posted a video of a supposed truck driver saying that he got stopped by the DOT. And the DOT, the officer said, "I need you to read this. Are you English? Are you American? Blah blah blah. I need you to read this sentence to be able to hear that you can read and speak English."
Yeah.
Donald Trump signed that, about a week ago, that executive order?
Yeah.
What I want to know is this. Who is in charge of putting a specific sentence together in regards to making sure that they can read? Is that uniform across the United States, that sentence?
Right.
And who is being trained to evaluate whether or not somebody has a specific level of English vocabulary that we can understand? Who is being trained? Which officers? Who is doing this assessment?
Correct.
Who is saying, okay, you read that well enough, you get to stay, or your vocabulary, your verbal skills to be able to pronunciate words and so on and so forth is good enough. Who's training these officers all of a sudden? How come this is something that is being put forth? And then somebody made a comment in my broadcast the other day when I was talking about this.
Right.
What if that person is a mute? They can't speak. What if they don't have verbal skills? They can drive and read, but they don't have the ability to speak. Do they not?
He doesn't care, and they don't care.
Can they not be a truck driver if they can't speak?
If they're brown, if they're a person of color, they don't care.
Well,
this is what we're seeing.
I mean, that's the thing. If they can't speak, if they don't have the ability to speak, how can they read something, but they can drive and read? Are you going to kick them out? Are you going to arrest them?
And you should have to. Don't you have to get a test, take a test, and to get the driver's license to do all of that stuff? So they're doing their due diligence to actually be in a position to do that.
You have a written test, and you have a driving test, and so on. Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, listen, Attacking, I think you've connected a lot of dots. So with this being said, what you're saying to us all is that Donald Trump's still lying out here. He's not doing anything to help this country. And while all of this is happening, his supporters, they're still worshiping him. Is that kind of where we're at right now?
Pretty much, yep. And by the way, as I'm sitting here listening to you commenting in your broadcast, I got messages, I got audio sent to me about another conversation.
See what I mean? They're triggered.
And the thing is, I'm not even there. I'm listening to you. I'm in your broadcast, listening to you, waiting for you to pull me up if you do.
Yeah.
And, I'm getting stuff sent to me.
Ain't that something? Well, there's no rest for the wicked. So, yeah, they're in hell right now. And this is what it's like. It's called weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right, W Attacking.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, God. I truly do believe judgment is on MAGA right now in the worst way, because you can't live a bunch of lies and then expect people to be honest with you, okay? Because you can't process truth. Let's go to the box, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, who do we have? I am DJ Flex. Good morning. How are you? Send a guest request if you want to come up here. I'll try to bring you up. All right. Seriously, I'm pretty much abandoning the idea that a Trump supporter will come up here, because I've totally annihilated them on this platform, and they don't want to deal with Big Zeus. Black Diamond W's in the chat. I am DJ Flex. Good morning.
Yeah, I just want to say you're doing an awesome job, brother.
Thank you.
I
appreciate
you bringing the truth, because the truth has to be stated. The lies are just lies.
Yeah. You see them from where you're. What part of the country are you in?
VT, Vermont.
Okay, you're in Vermont. Whoa, you're way up there. And you see the lies. You see the wake of destruction that Donald Trump is unleashing on America in terms of calling it the golden age, right?
No doubt.
Wow. Well, is there anything you would like to get off your chest real quick while I have you? Because it's an honor to have you up here, all right? Seriously.
Well, I'd just like to say that, you know what? We just got to keep going, bro.
Yep.
We got to keep going. We gotta state the facts. And, the facts are what's truthful.
Amen.
Nothing else really matters. We can sit here and make up bourgeois or BS all day.
Yep.
Don't matter. The facts are what matter. Whether we're right or we're wrong, that's what the facts tell us, whether we're right or wrong. Not this hodgepodge of pie in the sky ideas. No way.
Absolutely. Well, let me ask you one question. This just popped into my mind. Are you experiencing some of the Trump supporters starting to question whether or not they should be supporting Trump? Because I'm noticing like there's a trend going on, right? I think they're getting real quiet because they're hurting inside. But they have so much pride in them, right? They don't want to really admit they've made a terrible mistake. Are you seeing that from where you're at? Because I'm just curious, because a lot of the people I know right now, they want to talk about everything else other than what Trump is doing.
You hit the nail on the head. They got it used to be a saying, when you got too much pride to say you're sorry or you're wrong.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I think is happening. Nothing else but that. You got too much pride to be wrong. Not enough serious pride to be truthful. So what do? You do nothing. You just go in the corner and hide and go, I don't know what to do. It wasn't my fault.
Yeah. While their parents and them are suffering, while they could be suffering, right? They're gonna just sit there and try to ride this out and hope and pray that eventually Donald Trump gives them a sign. And what you're saying and what we all know is there will be no sign given to these people, right? Because they're like heathens, if you ask me.
Hey, you hit the nail on the head, my brother.
Thank you, brother. Seriously. Well, listen, I am DJ Flex. It's a pleasure to check in with you, bro. And as always, you're welcome to come up here anytime.
I appreciate it. Much love.
All right, much love. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that's another, person that loves this great country of ours. W. Rick C. All right. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. You see what I'm doing? We're hearing from real Americans, real patriots. Hold on. I thought I was going to grab you, unstable vet. I'll get you next. Good morning, Antonia. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing
Thanks for doing what you do.
You're welcome. You're welcome. To be quite honest, they say that I run a cult. So before you start talking, did I ask you to come up here and say anything?
No, not at all.
Exactly. All right. W. Antonia, you came up here under your own will, right?
Yeah, of course.
Fair enough. What do you got for us? All right. Seriously.
So obviously I'm not a Trump supporter, but this past weekend, I did try to talk to some people who I know are Trump supporters. They do regret their votes.
Oh.
They're very.
Really? Was this online or in person when you got
in person,
this?
in person,
Oh.
in person.
Because they don't want to be on the record. Yeah, I get it.
Right. They're actually pretty logical people and educated people. And what it eventually came down to was one said they'd never vote for a woman, so misogyny.
Oh.
And the other one did not believe the stuff that Trump said he was going to do was really going to do. They didn't expect this much in the tariffs. They didn't expect so much so quickly, and they didn't expect so much incompetence so quickly.
What were they living under, a rock?
I assume so. The one is very upset with all the decreased funding in cancer research. She actually has had 2-3 bouts of cancer. So she's really upset about that.
That
we're stopping all this funding because she's had to change her chemo a few times. One didn't work. She was resistant to another one. So very upset about that. The other one was just completely upset. They work in procurement, so it's becoming an issue with the supply chain. And then a friend of mine is a teacher, and on the board they actually had somebody who voted for Trump, thought he was going to do good for the education department, and she actually has a special needs kid, and they're cutting the funding, and she's really upset what they're going to do for services for her autistic son.
Wow. I mean, it's better late than never. And, I'm at a point now where I'm kind of like, I want to get on these people who are now just waking up, but we need all the help we can get. But I just have to shake my head and go, wow, how did they not get this?
Obviously, misogyny was one. I mean, somebody openly said they would not vote for a woman. There was no reason why. They just said, I would never vote for a woman. And I don't know if you guys saw, but they are canceling the $1 billion funding we had after Uvalde for adolescent mental health. So the research we were trying to figure out on why school shootings were happening. And they are canceling the $1 billion funding.
The Trump administration is.
Yes. And it was a bipartisan bill that passed after Uvalde to look into mental health of adolescents and why school shootings were happening.
See, I mean, pew-pewing. We got to use TikTok language, all right, just in case.
Oh, sorry. Pew-pew, sorry.
Yeah. So, would you brand this behavior as being more Christ-like or un-Christ-like? I don't know if you're into religion or anything, but they tend to be religious.
So I'm not religious, but I believe in having empathy, being a good human, and doing things right because it's the right thing to do is to help people, not because you're going to be, sent to heaven or hell.
Correct.
But these people don't believe in any of this. They are fascists for sure. I mean, they want to cut 20% of generals, but have more GIs. Why? If we're anti-war, why do we need more soldiers? And we don't need people who know war plans, who know the in and outs of the military. Why would we be cutting generals? So we want to make our military stupid so they don't take an oath to the Constitution. And we just send these 18, 19, 20-year-old kids to do stupid things.
You see it for what it is. Right? You see exactly what's going on here because the generals are actually smarter than Trump and
Correct.
Pete Kegsbreth. So
Who
obviously
also canceled sending weapons to Ukraine without Trump's approval.
Kegsbreth did that?
Yes. I don't know if you guys saw it this morning, but they found out he stopped sending weapons to Ukraine without Trump's approval.
I got to Sorry, that's worthy of that. Do you feel safer, honestly? Do you think America is safer with Trump and Pete Kegsbreth? And you heard about Mike Walls, right? Mike Walls had to go to be a UN ambassador now because he has this addiction. They have this addiction to Signal. And I'm just like, what the heck is so important on Signal? I mean,
clearly they're all, we know Trump's a puppet at this point. Everything to isolate us. I mean, who is the one person that would want the United States to become weaker, isolated, sicker, and dumber? Putin. I mean, why would you cancel funding from the NIH to find cancer research and neurological diseases and infections? Why would
the
you
fact
cancel
that
all that?
Yeah, and the fact is, I personally wouldn't. But what that reveals to me, because I had to think to myself, is. Are these Trump supporters, are they really smart for the most part, or are these people not so smart, right? Because,
They're clearly not so smart. I feel like Trump's the class bully that bullied everybody, and you didn't want to have that bully when you're walking down the hall punch you. So you just decided to go with the bully so you didn't get punched. Until one day somebody's not going to want to be punched around, and that's the people of the United States who are going to stand up and not take that.
Amen.
That's why everybody needs to be out there and protest peacefully. Don't give them a reason to, because we know Trump's crazy, not to send out the National Guard or anything, but people need to be out there with their signs and protest peacefully and tell them we're not going to take this.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Nobody needs to be yelling and being violent. Just stay nice and civil and not give them a reason.
Amen.
But we have to show them we're upset and we don't approve of any of this.
Amen. Amen. Right. Well, listen, Antonia, you did an outstanding job putting the truth out there, and you got a lot of people worked up. There was a knucklehead I invited up here. He said, and I wanted to see if you could respond to it before I move on to the next guest. He said, at least he's a Trump supporter. At least we don't make up stories.
Of course they make up stories. Everybody they're deporting is saying is a criminal. They're not criminals. And say they were criminals. They deserve due process. We give murderers and serial killers due process in this country. Everybody deserves due process. And how do you know if they're a criminal if they didn't have due process?
Amen. W. Antonia. All right, so again, deflection and projection doesn't work over here, MAGA. If you really believe what you believe, you should be able to try to climb Mount Olympus this morning and bring it, and we'll get you, and we'll see. If you climb Mount Olympus and you got the truth, you'll be successful. But if you're not willing to actually get up here and speak on it, then you need to zip it. We already know, right, Antonia? Don't we know all of their lies?
Yes.
We know every conspiracy you got. We know it.
They just they're brainwashed. I mean, I never understood how people drink the Kool-Aid with Jim Jones, but clearly we see why. And it's also a failure of our education system, right?
Yeah.
Look at the red states, the lowest education, and look at where most Trump voters are. And it's kind of sad too that they're not afforded the same abilities and the same education as we are in other places. But it's definitely a lack of education when you believe a person who's been bankrupted 6-7 times and even casinos is going to do well for your country, make it prosper, as things on our shelves are tariffs. Tariffs is a tax on us. How he convinced people to think another country is going to go and sell us things for free and pay the tax is beyond me. But
Me either, but you know what? We're going to keep up the great work and getting the truth out here so that basically no stone is left unturned. All right. And as I said earlier, I appreciate you, Antonia, coming on up here. All right. And telling the truth and shaming the devil. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, W. Antonia in the chat. No lies detected. It doesn't take long to do the cooking and the booking this morning, ladies and gentlemen. It really doesn't take long, all right, to get out here, cook and book. Do we have a Trump supporter out there? Oh, I did say I was going to talk to Unstable Vet. I know you've been in lives for a while, brother. How are you doing?
Doing great, Zeus. How about you?
I'm all righty then. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you, sir. All right. But what do you got for us this morning?
Well, when these MAGAs, got a couple things. When these MAGAs talk about these tariffs, my wife does a small business, custom tumblers and whatnot. She placed an $87 order there a couple of days ago and put the kid on the bus and come in. I could tell something was wrong. And so she sat down, kind of started tearing. I was like, what's going on? She said, I don't know how we're going to continue this. She said, I went and placed my order. I get the checkout. It was $218 import fees on an $87 order. So MAGA, if you think these tariffs aren't going to hurt you, you just need to accept this. This is what it's coming to.
Wow.
Wow. $218 import fee. You can only jack a price up on things to make a few dollar profit. You can't go out of the world to jack prices up all because of this orange goofball.
Yeah.
Don't have a clue of what he's doing.
Wow.
And also, so I'm a disabled veteran, and
Yes.
how these veterans vote for him. But I went to the VA yesterday. I've been seeing, the same doctor for about 6 years. And it takes a lot to come out and talk to these doctors. It takes a lot of build up, from what I went through, what everyone that served in combat has gone through.
Thank you for your service. I haven't said it again. I've said it before, but I need to always remind you, really seriously, thank you for your service.
I want to put this out there too. For those of you in this chat, there is many, and I'm telling you, many of us veterans that will never forget our oath, and we are going to stand up and we are going to continue to back this country 100%. I will die on that Constitution.
Amen.
But anyways, I put a video out, and the responses, Zeus, I have got in my messages from active duty soldiers, veterans, they're just questioning me, and I don't have the answer, folks. They're like, what if our generals, our platoon sergeants, our commanders tell us, we got to do? They're scared of what they don't want to go against the people. And, I'm right there with them, but I just tell them, hey, do what you feel is right for you, and you know what you raised that right hand for. And
they don't. So you're saying they don't know what to do? Could we do a little bit more of a exploring that mindset? Why would that question be in their mind, I guess, is my first thought.
Because they're worried about this commander-in-chief that should never have been commander-in-chief, because these 77 million uneducated Americans chose him over their country. And now we have a military, and a leader, Keg's breath, that don't have a clue of what he is doing. And, these soldiers are worried.
Yeah.
And what they're going to be told to do. They're not going to go against the people unless they're in the cult.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've been seeing this doctor for 6 years, and like I said, it takes a lot to get built up, to have a good communication, with your
doctor, because you don't trust them. You got pride and all this trauma that you got to unpack, and you got to feel like you can, trust the people you're talking to about these things. Because some of the stuff, I'm gonna be honest, in my mind, sometimes it could get real dark and dangerous. So I get it.
Oh, I've called the hotline twice, Zeus, and that's no longer around. Yeah. Thankfully, I've not had to call it, but it hurts deep down. But anyways, yesterday get there, and they told me my doctor wasn't there, so I had to see someone else. Well, it's almost like bringing back every single memory I have experienced, having to break back down and start from the beginning to talk to this doctor. Come to find out, there were 7 doctors, whatever else, the next step down, it was for mental health. And I asked her, I said, she said, well, I don't know if it's a sickness or what's going on. So I just, they can't speak of anything of what's going on. So I just left it at that. Well, we get travel pay. I travel over an hour to the VA. For the last 18 years, I've signed a piece of paperwork, put my address down, and then, later I get my travel pay. I said, can I get my travel slip? And she said, oh, you got to do it online now. I said, what? She said, yeah, you got to go to myid.something. I said, are you serious? I said, what about these Vietnam veterans and olders that don't work a computer? I said, all this is what that goofball up top is trying to do to save money by refusing our veterans, knowing that majority of them veterans will not hop on that internet to fill out that paperwork. That's exactly what it is. And she kind of looked up at me and she said, "You're on to something." So they know.
Wow, wow. You know that right there, I'm gonna be honest, unstable vet. You should call yourself stable vet, to be honest.
Right
Because
now, Zeus, I'm not very stable with what's going on.
it just, to me, it breaks my heart, because as you're telling me this story, I can't help but think the day he got sworn in, wasn't he supposed to, didn't he take the oath? He didn't put his hand on the
Absolutely.
Bible.
No.
And
That went-
it's like, you, even where you're at, you take the Constitution more seriously than the President of the United States of America.
Absolutely. And how these veterans, they disgust me. They're an embarrassment to that uniform that I wore with that American flag. And the Army agreeing to do a parade, do it the day after, not on this clown's, because he's going to make it to be his parade on his birthday. That's what he's going to do. He's going to disregard the military. It's going to be Trump's parade. And that's all these MAGAs are talking about. And we farm here in Southern Ohio. And my family, some of them are Catholic farmers, own many more acres than we do. And they've had Trump flags. Well, I drove by and I happened to see just the American flag, no Trump flag. So I was kind of, after this whole Pope situation, kind of made me think, which I don't associate with them. My attitude with these MAGAs, I can't deal with them. They don't want to listen. You can show them everything. You can slap them in the face and they just don't care. So
Are you seeing, because I asked the previous guest as well, are you seeing the tampering down in terms of MAGA wanting to actually show that they really love Trump, like they were after the election? When they won, they were all out here bragging and all beating their chest. Or does it seem like they're getting a little quieter?
Honestly, yes. Around me, there is some. It's a big farming community. We used to all work together, but we couldn't. We order our stuff, after harvest, like our fertilizer. We couldn't get a price on our fertilizer. Normally, we do 50-50 on soybeans and corn.
Yeah.
This year, we're doing 75 corn, 25 beans, because beans are, that's the most productive crop that we plant.
Yeah.
And we're not going to be able to, afford, we don't know what we'll do.
So if you do 25 beans, does that mean there's going to be less beans out here and stuff like that? If everyone's thinking like that?
Of course.
Huh?
Yeah,
So
we don't know where we'll take them. The price will be below market. It won't be. You got to think of how many times we're in that field. The fuel. The fuel here is January 20th. It was $2.69.
Yeah.
I went down. It went up to $2.89. Stuck around there for a couple months, and then 2 days ago it was $2.89. Went to $2.79 for that evening. I went by there the next morning, same gas station. It was $3.19.
Oh, so it's $3. I thought gas was around $1.97. And you're saying you're not getting any of that $1.97 a gallon type of gas.
I did find it at $1.39. I drove through Taco Bell and got a burrito, and about 20 minutes later.
Knock it off. That's not that kind of gas, unstable vet. Seriously, but you know what?
Did you hear about the horse jockey from the Kentucky Derby, the winner, Sovereignty? He won the race. Well, of course, Donald Trump wants to get him there to the White House, and the jockey, who's Venezuelan, he told him, he said if he wanted to see a horse's butt, he would have finished second. So.
Hey. No,
smart fella.
No lies detected. Listen, you nailed it.
Absolutely.
So, all right. And again, it's a pleasure to have you come up here and check in with us and let us know all the stuff that you have going on, brother. Seriously, keep up the great work. And please continue to keep us up. No problem. And continue to please keep us updated on how harmful Donald Trump has been to you and your family, considering all the things you've done for this great country. Because what you're saying, honestly, it hit home. It hit home with me and a lot of us who have family members. My dad, he was in the Air Force, retired. It hit home. It hits home knowing that this is what the sitting president of the United States of America is doing. It hits different. And like you said, people who have basically dedicated and taken the oath and are still supporting him, you have to scratch your head and say, what happened?
Mm-hmm. I'm 44 and I get cold chills, Zeus, just talking about this right here. I've got cold chills because I care about the country. I know what I've done, and I've got several buddies on here. We know what we've done and how these people were just totally going against what they raised that right hand for for this country. They care more about this orange clown than their country, and it's disgusting.
I agree.
It's almost embarrassing.
I agree. Well, listen.
But
Thank
thanks,
you
everybody,
again,
for
ladies
your
and gentlemen. Unstable vet. No lies detected.
You have a good day, Zeus. Appreciate the gifts, everyone. Hope
right.
everyone has a great day.
All right. You as well. All right, you as well. Oh my goodness. You as well. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think I had a little bit of a connection issue. Ooh. All righty then. Uh-oh. Okay. My good friend Ange. Good morning, Ange. Welcome. How are you?
Connection issue, I believe.
How are you?
Connection issue, I believe. Are we good?
Are you there, Ange?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I don't know why we're having the connect. Anyway, first of all, thank you to Unstable Vet. Appreciate your service as a military mama. That means even extra to us and to, I'm sure, like Zeus and everybody in here. I'm sure who has had either active duty or a veteran in their family. Thank you so very much. I want to get that out of the way. I'm sure everyone has heard, but my governor has won her court case. And
really?
I'm sure everyone has heard. But
thank goodness.
Donald Trump, we got a woman here, Governor Janet Mills, who did not bend the knee, and she won. And he has now had to unfreeze all of those funds that he had frozen. So, I love
thank
all
God.
the men. Most of the men in here are not misogynists. I love you all, but sometimes it just takes a woman to get things done, guys. You know, no offense. I know
that part.
Yeah. But I just want to share. The gentleman before reminded me I am actually going to Vermont today.
Oh, DJ Flex, I believe that was his name,
DJ
right?
Flex.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. That is my home state.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I am headed there today to help my mom, who was told for 4 months that she had low potassium. This is our healthcare system for us, okay? So I've had to go up there and get mad. And she does have cancer. And
so sorry to hear.
And now we're at the part where we're going tomorrow to find out where it has metastasized. We're doing a PET scan. I won't say the larger hospital, but a better, larger hospital. But my issue is, again, with healthcare. She has Medicare. So she's already worried about, well, you know, with the chemo and how much she may have to have. She could potentially, hopefully not, be unaliving. If I could have your prayers or whatever.
Prayers up. Send prayers. Yes, prayers. We're sending prayers and love your way, and seriously.
Thank you. But to have to worry about, you know, you could be unaliving and, you know, or needing certain treatment, and how am I going to get it? I'm on Medicare. We've got Donald Trump in charge of things like, does Medicare go away? You know, so she's terrified. We are in a position to help my mother if need be, but not everybody is. And these are what we're hearing. And what the other gentleman said too is, my mom is one of those people. She needs help with being on the computer. She needs help with these things. That's part of the reason that I go up. I have to help her with that.
Yeah.
They're making it more and more and more difficult, not just for every day, you know, people with diabetes and all these other things where they need their medications, and they're making it more and more difficult. These sick people, this oligarchy down there hanging out at Mar-a-Lago, golfing 20 times at this point, I think. And we've got people unaliving. More and more people. We've got, you know, talked to Dr. Keisha the other day. These measles outbreaks are just, you know, out of control. We had 16 outbreaks, I believe, last year. I don't know what we're up to this year. I don't know if we're at 100. She could probably tell you.
Yeah.
But this is where we're at with idiots like this cabinet that he's put together, RFK Jr., who basically doesn't even believe in it. I mean, this is terrifying. And as of course, there's a lot of people in here that know. He talks about children with autism.
Yeah.
Destroying families.
Yep.
I mean, I could go on and on and on. I mean, we've got, like you said, Hegseth, Lord. I mean, look at all these crashes. We had another Black Hawk crash the other day.
Wow.
I mean, it's every day. It's at this point every hour. I can't watch the television all the time. I can't do it for my mental health. I cannot.
I don't blame you, honestly.
Absolutely. That's just guys, sometimes just get away from it. It's too much. I love y'all and I don't want to see your mental health decline with all of this. Please get out and do something that you love at least every day. Because this is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we just need to get a break from it.
Amen.
So I'll get off my soapbox.
Fair enough, but you know what? You're hitting, you're making it hit close to home, because honestly, it doesn't seem like, no matter who I talk to, there's something going on with every American, and it's harmful in terms of what this current administration is doing. I mean, just the thought that your mom is trying to, take care of her health, and that's a battle, but the added burden of having to fight the government on top of that, and it's not just your mom. It sounds like it's happening to everybody.
Everybody, to some extent, everybody. And then we've got Katie Gorgie down here with her 5 followers. So I'll probably just get you out of here myself. Look at her, TDS. We're up here sharing stories that we shouldn't have to. Unstable vet. That was very personal story to him. He's hurting. He's hurting right now, and you're sitting there, TDS. So get that Jessica, get them out of here.
Yeah,
they got 5 followers. You're just miserable people. Don't talk to me about caring about other people or about the children. You're full of it. Yeah, I want to say something else, but I'm going to keep it clean for Mama Zeus. But
thank you.
You're all a bunch of hypocrites. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to call it out. Remember when we used to say the gloves are off? Zeus?
Yep.
I kind of backed off a little bit, we went back to just, and now what we call, when I go into dark mode, I am Angelina.
Hi, W Angelina, yeah.
I'm going into that mode because I'm sick of y'all. And this is hitting home for so many people, and you guys just want to write in the chat TDS. So I have some words for you, but I won't do it here. Anyway,
well, they could go to your live, and you can, if you want to speak directly to Ange, MAGA, because obviously Zeus and over here, you don't stand a chance. They can't climb Mount Olympus, right? But
no.
And they can't even get success. They're not even successful anywhere, actually. But go ahead, talk to Ange.
They tried over there over the weekend, and you weren't successful there either. Not in my opinion.
Now that I think about it, yeah. Yeah, they're just good at screen recording. They're just good at screen recording and writing letters on videos. I mean, it's so primitive what we deal with. And at this point, like you said, gloves off. W, Ange.
They understand if you have the replays, like, we can sit around and crop and make videos and stuff too, but I got a little bit more to do, like, with my time than do stuff like that. Yeah. But I will not be on live the next 2 days. Obviously, I'll be busy.
Okay.
I will be back Friday and ready to go.
All right. Well, let's keep on cooking and booking. All right. Seriously, we got to keep up the great work. All right.
Thanks for having me up, Zeus.
All right, W. Ange, no lies detected. And yes, prayers for your mom. Yeah. So listen, MAGA, all your tactics, they're not working with the Democrats at this moment. You can make any videos you want. You know what I do, honestly, when I see a video and they screen record the live that I post on my YouTube, I go, oh, so it was a monkey that did the screen recording and writing letters. Oh, congratulations to that monkey. Yeah, I say congratulations to that monkey, because that's a very intelligent thing for a primitive animal to do. Yeah. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got next? Do we have any? Oh my God, do we have any Trump supporters out there? I don't think I've talked to a Trump supporter yet. I haven't, but if there are Trump supporters out there, please put a one in the chat. I'll bring you up real quick. I'm already past my time limit, but I'll make a few exceptions. Hi, Kabira, how are you doing?
Good morning, Zeus. How are you?
I am doing just fine now that you're here too. Oh my goodness, W
Hey,
Kabira.
Zeus. You know what?
Yeah.
I loved you even more yesterday when you just had to let MAGA have it.
Thank you, thank you,
See,
thank you. I
I
tried.
was Saturday, I was just scrolling through TikToks, really just looking at the videos, and I saw you. I said, "Oh, let me stop here."
Mm-hmm.
And I saw you and Angie on the panel. And I tell you, Zeus,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty much of a calm person. But when that woman, and you know who I'm talking
I know
about,
who you're talking about.
brought up my name, Mr. DJ, I know you're here, or Majesty, whatever you want to call yourself today,
Mm-hmm.
and anyone else who's MAGA, let me tell you one damn thing. I've worked 50 years. This is my money. I do what I want to do with it. If I choose to give Zeus, that's me. That is my money. I choose to give Zeus because I love his platform. I love his message, and I love the way he makes his content. The rest of you get up there and you just do nothing but hoot, holler, and carry on like a bunch of bangy madmen. You know what I mean? And Zeus has every right in the world to accept my coins that I give him. Quit worrying about my bank account and quit watching this man's pocket, and you'll be just fine.
Oh, you come.
I'm really sick of the pocket watching here. It's not your fault that they don't create content. You understand what I'm saying? It's not your fault that they have 10 people in the chat and 10 people up top. It's not your fault that they are brain dead. You understand what I'm saying? It's not your fault. And I told you, when you bring up that gavel, I just roll over and die. I love it. I
You like
love
this?
it. I love it. And if it was me, if I had the chance, I'd knock them upside the head with it, hoping it brings some common sense to them. These people, I'm telling you, they're ridiculous, Zeus. They're ridiculous. They get upset over nothingness.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a platform where people are supposed to come and talk and have content and have a good time. But these people want to take I almost use a cuss word.
Yeah.
These people want to take things to the extreme and they want to take it personal. And if you know you have issues, then maybe you shouldn't be up on these platforms.
Amen. Amen. You saw what they tried to accuse us of over there. They said
Oh,
even at
yeah.
one point they're going to report me to the FBI. I said, "Why?" "Oh, because you're a cult leader." And they brought your name up. And they said,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell them what they said. It's my damn money. I do what I want to do with it. If I want to take my money and throw it out the window, I deserve to do that. See, I work for my money. So don't get mad at me. You know who. I'll just do the initial KB because you may only make 30 or 52,000 a year. That's not my problem. Maybe you should have set yourself up to do something with your life. And then you want to get mad at this black man because he's doing his thing.
You thought it wasn't what it was.
I've been holding it in all weekend long. And as you know, yesterday I've had contractors at my house and the guys over there painting. So I wasn't able, I watched your content on YouTube, then I loved it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So today the guy, he's doing the last little bit of painting and then he's going about his merry way. So I said, now is the perfect time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
people, go ahead, Zeus.
I was just going to say, I really do appreciate the fact that, number one, you do support the platform because that's never been a requirement. I don't go around asking people for money because I always say before TikTok, I was already a made individual. I was already a made man. So it's not TikTok making Zeus. It's Zeus making TikTok as far as I can see it. Right. So I wanted to just say thank you for doing that. But then you also came up here and you put some meat on the bone and told them it's not their money to worry about. It's your darn money. Right.
Exactly. I know what to do with my money. Don't get mad at me because you don't have any money. You had all the privilege in the world to get your money.
Ain't that something?
But you chose to do other things.
Yeah.
This black man made him a platform. And he conducts his platform like someone with some damn sense. You'll never catch him cussing. These people getting out of control. Everybody talking over each other. See, this is the reason why, Zeus, I stopped going to a lot of these lives. Except for you, it's about maybe 3 other people that I'll sit down, may come up on. Yeah, and there's some that I'll come through, this. But oh Lord, no, I'm too old and too tired to be bothered with some horse. You know what?
Yeah, I mean,
So-
and again, I've been there and I've done that. We've kind of had conversations about that. I can't, I don't have the bandwidth to get emotionally invested in anybody at all, really. But especially when people aren't even listening to their better angels, and you see people out here doing things that are actually not constructive but destructive. I can't put any energy into that, and so that's why. And then I have so many people that I know off the app that listen to the show and listen to me, especially my parents. And you're going, I have way too much sense to be.
What do I say, Zeus? You can't soar with the eagles and hoot with the owls.
Amen.
And some of these people are owls, and I'm not hooting with them.
Amen.
And you have never asked any of these people, anyone, for money. You've never asked anyone for a gift. As a matter of fact, you said gift the panelists. If you like my life, gift the panelists. But you've never asked anything for yourself. But then after old boy said what he said, then he goes, tap the screen and support the live. I said, you know what? You're a piece of filth.
Ain't that something, and it to me, you've already covered it. W. Kabira. You already covered it.
Brother. I really had to get that off my chest. It's been bothering me since Saturday. As you know, I've been in a foul mood behind it. They were beating up on you. Poor Ann, she was sitting there. It's like, oh man, this is some devil work here. This is just a bunch of filthy people. I needed to take a shower after this.
Well, you could take showers. They can't take showers where they live at. They got to go out in the lake and somewhere in the backwoods and get in a puddle or something. All right, so you already destroyed them.
So I'm gonna let you go, little brother. You keep doing what you're doing, and I'm gonna keep supporting you. I don't care if the cows don't come home. Thank
you. All right, I really do appreciate it, because you don't have to. No one has to, but I because it's about getting the truth out here. These conversations that we're having now, they did not start because Big Zeus needed money. It was happening because there was a clear red light flashing that, hold on, we're heading in the wrong direction. If this is because you're talking to these people, these Trump supporters, and you're hearing the things that they're saying, and you're going, I don't want to live in a country like that. That's how these conversations got started. It wasn't about the money. And look at where we're at now. Everything we were saying was going to happen is now happening.
Exactly.
I would trade in all the money I've gotten for it to not have happened, to be honest with you, because I didn't want to do this. I honestly thought Kamala was going to win, and I was going to be able to go do other things, but here we are.
Yeah, thought you'd be able to sleep well at night, not knowing what's going to happen. I keep my TV on perpetual news. What is Trump getting ready to do next? But I want to say to my fellow vet who was up, I feel you, brother. I feel your pain. I'm going, as you know, Zeus, I'm going through something with the VA right now, and the turmoil they're sending me with. My grandson's cousin, she was going to make a career out the Army. She was in for 8 years, but she said she can't do it, not with Trump in there. See, so this is what's happening to the people that's giving service, that really honors service. Yeah. I mean, and it's sad, Yeah. I mean, and it's sad, she's a young lady, 8 years, and she said she can't do it with Trump.
Wow.
But I'm going to let you go, brother.
All right, sis. Well, I appreciate you as always, and make sure you tell Mom we said hello in the kingdom. I haven't heard from her lately, but I'm pretty sure one day we'll get a chance to hear from her again, all right? Hopefully. All right.
All right, brother. You take it easy. Take it easy, kingdom.
All right, W. Kabira. No lies. There's no lies detected. I mean, this is what I'm saying. It's an awesome thing, ladies and gentlemen, when we as Americans can actually come together and at least call out things that are inappropriate and wrong. Good morning, my good friend, Misty. How are you?
Hi, baby. I just wanted to come up and
baby.
What
Okay.
She said, you know me. I tried to get up on that panel.
Okay. Fair enough. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my associate Missy, and she's a Trump supporter.
I am, guys, and I listened to that live, and I did not agree with that. And I was really trying to get on that panel because I respect Zeus, even though we have different opinions. I love you, Zeus. Keep doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I wanted to come say. I'm at work, so I can't stay. But I just wanted to tell you, I tried. And when you came in my panel the other night, I just wanted you to know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I can live with that. All right. But you got to get it right at a certain point, though, Missy. All right. I get it. But thank you, because you didn't have to come up here and take time out of your day at work to actually stand for
No,
what's...
I just wanted to come tell you hello and that you're a beautiful person, even though we're on opposite sides. And I hope you have a fantastic day.
Okay. All righty then. I can live with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Hi, everybody.
Missy. All right. She definitely was looking out for me. She actually wanted me to do more in terms of defending myself, but I didn't quite want to go that far because that's just not the type of person I am. Yes, Ange, you're back?
Yes, I rarely come up. She reminded me, Kabira did, and thank you to you too for your service. When I came across you, it was about 3.5 years ago. You were on my FYP, and you probably had about the same amount of followers that I have right now, about 30-ish K, maybe a little bit more.
Oh,
so here you are, 3.5 years later. I don't know. I don't watch that, but probably around 200K. So your account has truly grown organically. Grown organically because people come along and they did exactly what I did. Was like, this guy has great material. We see that you put in the work. Yes, I do gift other creators here and there, but I mostly gift you because I watch you put in the work. And that I watch you get up here, rain, shine, not feeling well, even on holidays sometimes. 6:30 in the morning. I mean, I don't know what it is. You're always 5 minutes late, but
yeah. Well, I can live with being late, but yeah.
I tease you about that. But I just wanted to piggyback on that, and to all of you people that are saying things like that, like, no, I've never been asked for a gift. I gift Zeus because he puts in the work. Some of you other people, you just turn on the camera like I do, and I don't deserve what he does. He puts in the work. He has the songs, and he has everything ready. And I appreciate that, and this is why I really.
W Ange, W Rick.
Has been fun to watch.
Ange, W Rick.
Has been fun to watch, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And now I'm done. Thank you.
All righty then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Ange, W Ange. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, oh my God, we have so many beautiful people that I want to check in with. How am I going to get away with this? How am I going to get away with this? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try this. All right, I'm supposed to be off already, but we'll try to be as quick as I can. All right, I got a little bit more time. Yes, Jess, how are you?
Good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
W Kabira, W Ann.
W
Thank
everyone.
you, Kabira, for your service. Wow. So I agree with all of that. There's this saying also that goes, mind the business that pays you.
Oh.
Pretty sure they don't get paid to pocket watch. So don't worry about what other people are doing. Maybe if you focused on watering your own grass, it would grow.
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
And oh, sorry. Whenever I got clean, my aunt, she was like an old timer. She, in the rooms, they say like over 10 years, you're an old timer, right?
Yeah.
And she told me when I got caught up in the drama, because in the rooms, there's like this hierarchy type thing, popularity contest, who has the most clean time, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
She said, what other people think of me is none of my business. So if someone's coming to you with screenshots or screen recordings, because trust and believe, we get them from your side too. We get screenshots and stuff sent to us. Like, hey, look what so-and-so said. You can choose to ignore it. You can choose to be like, hey, I don't like those people. I don't give a fuck what they got to say. Oh, sorry, Mama.
Got it. I got you.
I
Gotcha.
know, I know. I'm so
kidding.
sorry, but the point remains. You choose to engage, and you choose to be hateful, and that is a good segue into Donald Trump messing with the First Amendment, right?
Yeah.
So they're trying to pass H.R. 867. H.R. 867, introduced by Mike Lawler from New York. What this does is basically it is going to make it illegal to boycott Israel. How are they going to tell that? I don't know. But the punishment is up to 1 million in fines or up to 20 years in prison. How does that make sense?
It doesn't. I can
Sounds
tell
like
you
it's
that.
violating the Constitution yet again.
Yeah. And you know what you said that I said, yeah, this goes back to the people who were doing the voting and saying I'm not going to vote for Kamala because of that. I mean, did it work?
No.
So, I mean, again, it baffles me too. But once again, this is what we all were saying was going to inevitably happen, right? They knew this was going to happen.
Yep. And they talk about free speech and how Trump is the most pro free speech president, or Elon Musk is pro free speech. Mind you, Elon Musk banned the Dropkick Murphys. If anyone knows like Irish punk bands, the Dropkick Murphys, you're going to ban the Dropkick Murphys from Twitter because you literally got your feelings hurt. That's all it was. They criticized him at a concert. Boom, got banned. Crazy.
Easy to criticize people who have thin skin.
Yeah,
like him and Trump do. And so this is what we're dealing with, a bunch of thin-skinned people. And then he heard him say, Trump said, "Oh, it's just a joke." Are they good at taking jokes on the right?
No. And they want you to take all the jokes. Oh, the Pope picture, he was just trolling. It's a joke. It's a joke. But if we call him orange, you're going to cry and say we're racist for calling him orange.
That part. W, Jess. No lies detected. W.
Last I checked, people weren't...
What happened, Jess? You went on mute.
I got a phone call. I got to drop. You have a wonderful morning.
All right.
I love you. Appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for the gifts.
All right. Love you, too. All right. W, Smitty, we hit the live goal. Smitty, you are on the fire. Wow. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. It's this is what we're talking. W, Smitty. Go ahead, Smitty. Light it up. All right, light it up, brother. Light it up, champ, like it's the 4th of July. All right, let's bring up our next panelist. I'm supposed to be gone. All right. Oh, I see you. Let me see you. Good morning, Morning Star. How are you? And I see you swerve. Yes.
Hey, Zeus.
Hey, how are you? W, Smitty. Smitty, you're sending them over the cliff, Smitty.
Smitty,
all right.
Setting it up. Hey,
oh my God.
I just wanted to jump on here and just tell you how much you are appreciated. Haters are going to hate. These people are so jealous. They can't even concentrate on the mission at hand. They can't even see that they are actually cult members themselves. They're actually caught up in the cult. They're listening to a delusional lunatic who gets on here every day and sells them another lie. He lies to them daily, constantly. And they can't see past that. They rather pocket count what you receive in your lives, which is none of their business. You come here, you come with factual information, you come with the truth, and you always entertain us at the same time. So just because you can't be like Zeus, even on a day of trying, it's not our problem nor our fault. We don't give a dang on.
Nutty said W Nutty in the chat while you were saying that. You can go ahead and go ahead and do something for Nutty too, because Nutty, we didn't need that. All right, W Rick.
Nutty, you are awesome as well. We appreciate you, brothers.
All of you are awesome.
You guys come around here. You don't have to do what you do. You support everybody's platform, even when you don't have to. And people hate greatness. They hate when you show people that you are a good person. And normally they try to do anything they can to tarnish that. But it backfired on them, Zeus. It backfires on them all the time.
Well, he blocked Big Zeus, Morningstar. Why would a person block me? I mean, I was just...
Because the truth hurts. And he couldn't take too much more. He couldn't take too much more of your truth and the greatness of Zeus and all the facts and all the friends that Zeus has.
Y'all be cracking me up over here. W Morningstar, y'all be cracking me up.
He couldn't take it. Only thing he could do was hit the block button. He could only hit the block button.
Should have did it a long time ago.
He should have did it a long time ago. Why torture himself? He tortured himself.
That part.
I wasn't there to see what had took place over the weekend. TikTok is a wild place, I tell you.
Yeah.
I've seen so many different things happening. TikTok is definitely wild. But I just wanted to give you words of encouragement because I've been following you for probably almost close to 3 years, Zeus.
Wow.
It's been 12. Yeah, I've been looking at you, and you never cease to fail. You don't fail. You come through with facts. You entertain us all, and we all appreciate you. And I just wanted to make sure I gave my flowers to you this morning.
Thank you,
for being a good person, a good brother, a good friend, and not judgmental of anybody in these TikTok streets. You give everybody an opportunity.
I really do. I try to be the fairest host, but Miss Morningstar, I wanted to also. You just made me come to a conclusion about something. As much as I want to say thank you, I also understood I would not be here without all of you, and I think one of the things that I've learned is that, we all hold each other accountable to a certain standard. And so thank you as well for just, being willing to stick by and help watch what I do and watch me grow as a person and give me the feedback as well. All of you really, it's a group effort. And I don't think a lot of that gets discussed. All right. I just show up on the app and knock out the hours and then move on about my day.
You are your authentic self, and that is what is important. When we come out here, some people have gotten caught up in the hype of being on this app, and they lose focus of the mission and the goal and what we're here for. We were here to fight, democracy. We're here to do the right thing. We're not here to curse folks out all the time or to argue with folks or to try to see who gets the most coins or the most cash apps. We don't care. People like me, and I'm gonna just say you and me. We have our own regular lives and we can live without this app. However, we know that we get on here on a regular basis to make sure that we are doing the right thing, because you got to do your part in this world before you go. We're not here forever, and we cannot take this money with us when we go.
Amen. You hitting the nail right on the head, Miss Morningstar.
It's facts.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to encourage you, as I know all your friends do. We all do, and keep going and keep doing what you do. And I'm going to support you.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. All right. And, as always, keep up the good work. You and DJ Kitty especially. All right.
Thank you.
Make sure you're following Morningstar.
We're trying our best. And we're pushing the narrative, and we're going to keep pushing just like you.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. We're all standing shoulder to shoulder, because a lot of us can't get out here and protest because of but there is a way of protesting on the internet, which is what we're doing. Oh yeah, you're darn right we're going to get out here.
Before I get out of here, I'm going to tell you, this weekend, me and DJ Kitty went to a Black Expo down in Houston, Texas, and we did the work. We were on the ground for hours. We met over probably 25 to 30 businesses and connected with them in the community to find out what they're doing and how we could support each other. And they were all for it. So that's what it takes. It takes us to do, even if we can't protest, we're going to get out here and we're going to still connect with the community, because it's about the people.
Amen.
It's about us.
Amen. It never stopped being about us, and that's the thing, right? All right, I see you're a busy person, all right?
Yes, people calling me. You have a great day.
All
Zeus.
right,
I
W
see.
Morning.
Thank you for letting me up.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, this is my good friend Miss Morningstar. Oh, you know, I'm going through we're going into the vault, ladies and gentlemen. These are some of the old school folks that I grew up with on the app. Swervin's one of them. Me and him used to get in the closet of truth. Didn't we, Swerve? We were in the. Remember, I used to do the closet of truth. Remember, I used to do those. You know,
Oh,
it
I
was.
remember.
We didn't talk politics. We got to the issues, you know, and that's what the Closet of Truth was about. But Swervin was there, and I remember you were one of the first people that I've started to kind of let down my guard with and start trying to get to know. You were fighting before I was, and you gave me a lot of good advice about how you used to argue with these people, and it just stressed you out, and you just told me, don't do that, Zeus. You can't be arguing with these people like that. But what did you want to bring up? I'm so sorry. W Swerve, I'm sorry.
Hey, you good, man? Even then, I had to go through this long road of deconstructing my own hostilities. And when I get on my lives, do I still curse a little bit? Yeah. Do I still kind of call people? Yeah, but not as much as I used to. Like I used to get banned every other day for 6 or 7 days. I mean, I the last ban I suffered, and it's been a couple of months now. But that last ban was ban number 179, I believe. But that is across 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, but now I wanted to come up and say, first of all, it's good to be back in the kingdom. I haven't been with you all for a couple of weeks. I've been listening.
Yeah.
But I got a lot going on, and a lot of that takes place in the morning times. And I wanted to say to the kingdom, a lot of you sent me well wishes on my dog who was given a clean bill of health yesterday. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
And, I just appreciate those warm thoughts. And Zeus, you probably see it like I do now. I get up in the morning and I turn on TikTok and, then I'll kind of turn it off just to see because it'll show 2,309 messages in one day. I'm like, oh, crap. And it sucks for us because we can't go through all of them. And we try as best as we can. And I just tell people, look, if you want me to read a message from you, let me know it's coming because I may or may not see it. I wanted to, kind of speak on what Unstable had said. And, he's right. And these people these veterans especially who voted for this, before I went this morning, I spent the past 40 minutes getting electrocuted for EMG test.
Yeah.
For my nerves. This is part of my PACT Act screening physical.
Yeah.
Thank you, President Biden.
Thank you, Biden. Yeah.
And they don't seem to understand that these things are very harmful to the veterans of this community. And I'm not going to talk about what happened to me personally yesterday. I'll talk about that on my live later this afternoon. But there was a good chance that I may not have been here this morning.
Wow.
It's because healthcare is being delayed directly as a result of the Donald Trump administration. And before I left for the hospital this morning, I was talking with another veteran who voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Goes by the name of Navy DC. And I said, when you walked into that voting booth, I want all the veterans to think of this. This guy was in the Navy. We stand to watch on these ships 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on these submarines, on these bases. In some areas, we provide the complete and total security and police force.
Yeah.
You walked into that voting booth, you pulled the lever for this man, and you spit directly in the face of every one of your brothers and sisters who took that oath and stood to watch with you. That's what you did. Every member of an FOB that you went Oscar Mike with when y'all were downrange, who stood side by side with you, you spit right in their face. As the projectiles were flying over your head and you had to use your firearms, you spit right in their face. Those of us who came back with PTSD, and for someone like Donald Trump to say, oh, well, it's just headaches, you spit right in our face. For those of us who came back injured, who required disabilities or disability benefits and physical therapy, you spit right in our face. Every single one of you who voted for this man You spit right in our face. And then you said, well, I heard somebody say last night on another live I was on, well, it doesn't affect me. I don't care. Oh, really? So you decided to spit right in the face of the men, women, and members of the LGBTQI plus community who provides the blanket of freedom you sleep under every night. And then to say, well, since it doesn't affect you, you don't care. Guess what? We've already affected you. Because without us, who knows where this country would be? Who knows?
Amen.
We could be speaking one of several different languages. And I want to point everyone's attention to a series. I believe it was on Netflix. It's called The Man in the High Castle. It gives you a theoretical look as to what would have happened had the United States lost World War II.
Oh,
and
that's an angle. That's an angle.
It's a pretty interesting show. It's involved. It's got a little time travel aspect to it, but basically, Adolf is trying to use his people in some way, shape, or form to collect films from different parts of reality as to how he wins World War II and how the Japanese win World War II, and they carve up the United States, and all we have is just a little strip dead center of the United States called the neutral zone. That's all we have to us as citizens of the United States. No constitution, everything's martial law, and I hear these people talking about posse comitatus with this latest executive order that Trump signed.
Yeah.
Make sure police continue to have and enjoy qualified immunity. He wants to revoke posse comitatus, which goes back 140 years ago, where they just, hey, rally the posse. Oh, well, let's go get the Proud Boys. Let's go get the Boogaloo Boys. Let's go get the Oath Keepers, the One Percenters, the Patriot Front. Let's go get all of these people.
Yeah.
And let's not leave out the Special K. Let's go get all of the people from there, and we'll just deputize them. And we can turn them loose and let them go after whoever they want. Now, who do you think they're going to go after first, Zeus? Us.
Folks like you and I. Yeah.
And these people don't care. And then when their doors start getting kicked in, they're going to be the ones sitting there going, at the end of that poem, they're going to be the ones sitting there going, when it came time to stand up for me, there was nobody here to help me. They're going to be the very ones doing it. And Zeus, we've seen hundreds upon hundreds of videos of these individuals regretting their vote. We have talked to some of these individuals for regretting their vote. I will give Abner all the props in the world, and I will give him the respect he is starting to earn by saying what he said to me yesterday.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's
a bold move. I mean, because the cult, once you decide to flip on them, you put yourself in a very nasty position. So
yeah, absolutely. And I will give him that respect, but now we got to see the results. And I've gone down my own internal deconstruction of my own internal massaging.
Yeah.
At one point I thought that was over, and then I realized, nope, I still got some ways to go.
Me too.
So I picked that back up, and that came on the advice of Tiffany for the people.
Oh,
she got me to open my eyes to a few things. Right?
She's very good at doing that.
Oh,
I tell you, you gotta. Yeah, she'll.
If you've never seen her on her live, she comes on usually late at nights. But if you've never seen her on her live singing, she is worth a listen. Okay,
Yep.
That's all I'm gonna say. She is definitely worth a listen. But she helped me to open my eyes a few. Yeah, I was salty in the moment, but I just thought to myself, I said, "Damn, she's right."
Yep, W Tiffany for the people again. Yeah, because what happens in a lot of this is your belief system gets challenged when people bring things up about your behavior. Your belief system is challenged, and then you tend to get defensive. And she's very good at helping you to understand that that means there's work to do.
And that's all it was. My defense went up, and I was like, well, wait a minute. I'm not this person. I'm not that person. But then as I thought about it more and more, it just resonated with me. And I was like, you know what? I am that person. Holy hell, I never even saw it. So, but
Wow.
the whole thing is, until people, they keep, well, how do we move forward? No, we aren't going to do anything, because we have spent years, you and me and others, on Santana, Q-Dog, we have spent
Santana, Q-Dog, all of them telling y'all this stuff.
Telling them exactly what was going to happen. And all we ever heard back was, Well, they're never going to do that. He's not going to revoke birthright citizenship. That's never going to happen. And yet here he is trying to revoke it. And what pains me the most
Talk to him,
is the
brother.
Supreme Court is actually going to sit their funky behinds down and listen to the theory as to why we don't need birthright citizenship. Go wash them nasty robes, put on some regular clothes, and go out and talk to some people and say, hey, what do you think about this? Indigenous personnel, where would you deport them to? The United States has broken just about every doggone treaty there is with indigenous personnel in this country. And now you want to take away their birthright citizenship. There was a group of people here long before Christopher Columbus accidentally landed on the shores.
Well, they're saying there was no one. Did you hear that live? You were in there, I think, or no? It was Val and Shay and I, and they said there was no one here before Columbus got here. That's in MAGA world.
Yeah, I heard it. And let me remind all the cornstarch crusaders of something. They didn't know how to properly wash themselves. They didn't know how to grow crops. They ran all over the world and stole spices from everybody, but don't use a single doggone one of them. Yet they want to sit here and try to tell other people how to live. They want to tell, oh, well, you need to be a good Christian, but only to these people who look like you and worship like you. They don't, what's so funny?
The spices, the part that you said they stole the spices, but they don't know how to use them. That because you know what it's like sometimes when you go to eat at their houses, right? W swerve. That was actually funny.
Yeah, if we go to our own cookout, we asking who made what, and we don't ask him who made what out of fear it's not going to taste right. We ask him who made what, so we can make sure we get enough of it and enjoy it.
That part.
Because when we fix up a pot of collard greens, brother, let me tell you, we sticking our foot off in that pot. We going straight back to the old school. Okay, it's gonna have some pot liquor in there. We're gonna have we might throw in some blistered potatoes with some ham hocks or some salt. Look, we want to we go to their and we like, okay, who made the potato salad? Oh, well, Helen made the potato salad. I think I'm going to pass on Helen's potato salad. I remember the last time.
Yeah.
I thought she had roaches in her house. Turned out it was just raisins. I ain't got time for that.
You know what? Lord have mercy. I got to think about that, honestly. We're stealing herbs and spices, but we're not using them. I got to think about that because that's diabolical at another level I haven't thought about. But you're right. That's what happened.
My friend Mimi said that in my live a couple of about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, but people.
That's funny, Mimi. Thank you, Mimi. That's good. I mean, but it's a serious thing. How are you running around the earth, looting villages, looting societies, and going after the herbs and the spices, but you're not using them correctly? That blows.
Exactly.
That blows my mind.
It's like they afraid of salt. They afraid of pepper. Woo! Hey, what'd you put in the chicken? What do you mean when I put in the chicken? Did you put anything in the flour? No, I just use flour. Why? Because that's what your chicken tastes like now is flour. I mean, come on.
Woo! You can't make this stuff up, folks. Y'all can't make.
Come on.
Woo! You can't make this stuff up, folks. Y'all can't make this stuff up. This is some crazy stuff we got going. It's something up here that will make a person do that. It's something.
But they want to tell us. They want to sit down and tell us how to cook. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't get me wrong. Now, I'll be honest with you. I know people from all walks of life that know how to cook. I've traveled the world. I've had cuisine all over this planet.
Yeah,
and I'm a big time foodie. I know some of them know how to cook.
Yeah, stop it.
But doggone it, learn. How much salt to use, and then maybe a half a teaspoon more, and you'll be all right. You might be okay. I'm just saying. No, that was all I wanted to add, man. I hadn't been on your panel in a few weeks. I'm limited my time here because you always have such great guests on.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, man, I've taken it upon myself to sit and just learn how to be an effective listener.
Fair
There's a
enough.
reason we got two eyes or two ears and one mouth.
Yeah.
It's
That
so we
part.
can get better at what we hear and then research it. And when we research it, I love how they'll, oh, here y'all come with y'all little facts. Well, I'm sorry if you're lactose intolerant. If your tummy gets upset and you start to fart a little bit, you should probably lead alive.
Amen.
Because I know over here you ain't gonna get nothing but the truth and facts. Same thing in my life. You ain't gonna get nothing but the truth and facts.
Amen.
So, to all my brothers and sisters and members of the LGBTQ plus community and other marginalized communities who serve this country, I applaud you. Unless you voted for Donald Trump, I have no time for you. And I'll say that with my whole chest, 10 toes down, standing on the beaches of Hawaii with my shirt open as a tsunami's about to smack me in the face.
Amen. Hit him with it.
So,
all right, brother.
Let you get back to attending to the affairs of the kingdom.
All right.
It was good seeing the kingdom again. It was good being
too.
in here. I'll be in here every morning listening for the rest of the week. I got nothing planned. The latest I think is my earliest start is going to be 11:30 tomorrow.
All right.
So, listen, man, like I tell you and like I tell everyone on my lives, and hopefully this resonates with the kingdom, you all please, please, please be well, be safe, and doggone it, have fun while you do it.
All righty then, ladies and gentlemen. W.
PM my time.
W Swerve, make sure you're giving him a follow. No lies detected. All right, I got to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Debbie, you said you wanted to say something real quickly. What do you got for us this morning, Debbie? How are you?
Oh, Zeus. Good morning, sir.
How are you? I'm doing good.
I woke up late to the kingdom today. I had a 16-hour day yesterday.
Oh no.
Apologize that I'm late to the
It's
kingdom.
okay. You get a pass.
Thank you very much for forgiving me. I don't think MAGA knows what it's like to work 16-hour days. You know, they just sit on TikTok all day and complaining about us crying liberals and all this stuff and their savior, Trump, that is destroying our country here, you know?
Yep.
Well,
That's it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go.
But this is what it's like to work 16-hour days. You're tired, you get to sleep in, and then you have to go back to work and do it all over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. God bless you. That's a lot of hard work, but you know what? Thank you so much for doing what you do. You're helping a lot of people who need your help, Debbie. Seriously.
I appreciate you always. And I appreciate you letting me up again for the second time. I do appreciate you. I'm still the new kid on the block. I started following you maybe a year or two ago when I joined TikTok. I was the late bloomer, but
okay.
I found you on my FYP and I immediately followed you, and I start seeing everybody that is in your circle, like Ange and Val and Shay and Swerve and everybody.
Good people.
And I started following them and going into, and seeing them and learning so much from them. And I'm sending prayers to Ange and her mom and Swerve and Miss Kabira. I don't know how I can top that, but I'll try. But I want to say, because I empathize with Ange. I really do. Oh, and I can't forget about Nutty. He's getting on me down there.
Oh gosh, this guy.
Sorry, Nutty.
Nutty, work on the Nutty. Jealousy is a sign of weakness,
But
bro.
I appreciate you for welcoming me, Nutty, too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dee.
But I empathize with Ange because I know what she's going through. My mom was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer in 2022.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And, through the grace of God, because I am a believer, and he saved my mom. And the great science and the cancer research and the great doctors that saved my mom, that this man in office is trying to get, taking funding, trying to get rid of, and these RFKs and all these buffoons that's in this administration. That science and research saved my mom's life. Okay. Yeah. Those doctors saved my mom's life. Better believe I was in those rooms. Better believe I was advocating for my mother.
Amen.
In those doctor's appointments by her side. I was there. I almost lost my mom twice to this horrible, horrible disease. But better believe I made sure that she had a great team of women. You hear that? Women doctors. Women doctors that saved her life.
Yeah.
Made sure she had the best care. My mom had to learn how to re-walk because of this horrible disease. Okay,
Yeah.
here we are, and I don't even know what reality we are right now. It's a horrible reality. I and like
Crazy.
I said, I've been taking time away from TikTok. I'll go into your live or certain lives and things like that and get them, and I'll leave. I haven't
Yeah.
been watching news. It's too much. It's too much. And I appreciate you so much, Zeus. I really do. I mean, you're a very kind person. You're smart. You're a loving person, and
Thank
I
you.
really, really appreciate you so much. And that's why they hate you so much because of the type of aura you carry,
Mm.
and you are a very confident man person, and you know who you are, and they hate that. Hate that. They will continue to hate that. They will continue to be jealous because you know who you are. You know you're on the right side of history. You know what I mean? And
Amen.
I appreciate you so much. I do. And I want to say this for RFK believers out there. My mom's a retired nurse, and my mom made sure we had those vaccines when we went for measles and everything else. Okay, those vaccines saved our lives. Okay,
Yeah.
that C-19 saved my life, my parents' lives. Okay, I seen my mom fighting C-19 when she was very sick in the
Yeah.
hospital. Okay, because of negligence at the skilled facility she was in for rehab, and better believe I spoke up and got her removed.
Amen. You did the
Because
right thing.
yes, because it's just so sad that reality, and we're losing sleep, and but we continue to have hope. And I thank Joe Biden for allowing me to have good night's sleeps. I thank you, Joe Biden, for putting us first before yourself and putting us our country first. Thank you, Joe Biden.
Thank you, Joe Biden.
Thank you, Joe Biden, for everything you have done for us and your service. I thank you, Miss Harris, for your grace, your beauty, your confidence. I thank you. I thank you because I did not lose sleep at all. I was okay. I felt safe.
Amen.
Felt seen. I don't feel like that anymore, Zeus. I don't. I am scared, but I continue to have faith. I have therapy soon. I think MAGA needs to see a therapist. Thank God for
Yep.
that therapist. Shout out to her who has been
Yep.
putting me through this. I think MAGA needs to definitely get in somebody's seat to get out of this cult. Okay.
Amen.
But you know what? They're so in denial. They're so in too deep. They're not gonna go. And Miss Cabrera, I agree. I don't go into certain lives anymore. I go and support you. I'll gift you, then I'm out because the yelling, the screaming, the attacking, the name calling, the disrespect, the nastiness, I can't take it no more. I can't take. You don't deserve to be treated like that. And nobody on our side of the team deserves to be mistreated and disrespected and name called the names that they call us. It's disgusting.
Amen. All right,
Disgusting.
Debbie. We
But I
thank you.
appreciate you, honey. I'm
All
gonna
right.
get out of here because I got therapy at 12. I love you. Keep
All
keep
right.
keep going, honey. Keep
Will
going.
do.
Honey. Thank you so
Exactly.
much,
Thank you
sweetie.
so much. Love you too. W Debbie in the chat. No lies detected. Oh my God! Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. What a show! I mean, wow. I gotta get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to cook and book as fast as I can. Good morning, brother Santana.
Good morning, good morning. Listen, I know you gotta get out of here. I'm not gonna hold you. I
You
just want
say
to
that,
say,
but Nutty says that too. But just I
listen,
see the aura on you right now. You're going after one of them H's.
listen.
Okay.
There's a huge difference between me and Nutty. I'm not gonna say what that difference is, but I will make sure that everyone knows.
Well,
No,
thank W Santana because you got to put him in his place. I give you points for that.
no, So listen, I just want to say really quick, be aware. Like I know you've been on Pete Hegseth, like I know you've been like completely clocking him, but between the signal chats, between the drinking, between the actual him actually freezing aid to Ukraine and Trump not knowing about it. I mean, there's a lot happening between him cutting down on four-star generals. There's a
Yes.
lot happening. There's a lot happening, and it's really starting to put our military at jeopardy. So I just had to call that out because you are the person that I've heard like really beating that drum.
On Keg's breath, Signal Gate, because he has an addiction to Signal, and this is the
Yeah.
thing that gets me. It's like I think there was a report that came out yesterday or something, and I didn't get to check all the way into it, but it's another example of he's just using this app, and you're going, what person needs Signal that much?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the wildest thing. And I mean, I get why he likes it because like you can put a burn notice on like the messages and all this other stuff. So you have it for a certain amount of time. It's supposed to be secure. It's a lot to it. Like you have, in order to actually message people, you have to like they have to accept you. There's a lot to it, but it screams, I'm a spy. It screams like I'm working for the other team.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just wanted to come up for a second, give you your props, and make sure that the viewers know, like, hey, there's something to that. So we got to make sure we're being vigilant.
Yeah, there's a report that came out that they are there. It was down temporarily because it's been hacked. The actual app Signal, well, the parent company,
Really?
I forget. Yeah, I thought I had it up here. Hold on, I saw it this morning, but I was like, well, you know what? It's just to me more evidence that this the danger that Pete Keg's breath
Hmm. I
has put
stole your
to
line.
America. Yeah.
I
Oh, you
put that in
stole
the
it?
video. I put that in the video today.
W Santana. Yeah. Yeah, because we got to keep up and make sure Americans understand this is an incompetent administration and there's nothing really good that's going to come out of this. There's conflicts breaking out Pakistan and India, and I'm going, you think Pete, Marco Rubio, Trump, they can successfully negotiate a peaceful resolution? No.
No, no, no. They can't negotiate their way out of a paper bag. That's why, Trump is screaming and crying for China to come to the table and make a deal. That's
Yeah.
why, even though we signed that minerals deal with Ukraine, it took about 2 months to get it done when they were ready to sign it like a while ago. Like none of this. That's why Boeing is now looking for other places to sell their plane because did you hear about Japan threatening to actually pull and like just destroy our markets? Like they're horrible at this. They're horrible at they're so
Yep.
bad.
Yep. And it's not good for us as Americans that Donald Trump is doing this and he doesn't have a plan behind it. And so we're going to continue to watch, this country just basically get the biggest behind whooping it's ever been able to get since it's been founded because you have this administration that doesn't know what the heck they're doing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, Zeus. I'm worried, but I appreciate you drawing so much attention to what's important, and I'm gonna continue to do the same thing. So
All
I just want
right.
to give you your
And keep
props
up
on
the
that.
great work. All right, brother.
Yeah.
All right. Keep up
Also,
fighting. Yes.
just say this real quick. Nutty, step your game up. I love you, Nutty. I
All right.
appreciate you, Zeus. I'll
W.
see you later.
Santana. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's our good friend Santana. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, listen, it's been one heck of a show. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, if I didn't get to talk to you today, it doesn't mean I love you any less. It honestly just means Big Zeus has to get up out of here. I actually stayed an additional hour for this show. So I want to thank each and every single one of you. W to the chat, W to the subscribers, W to the moderators and panelists. Without you, this show wouldn't be as entertaining, educational, and engaging as it is. But I also got to give one last round of booze and shame to the Zeus haters, and they know exactly who they are. They sit around on TikTok. These are some of the most miserable individuals I've ever seen in my life. They are over 18. These people are well into their 40s, all right? These are some miserable people who have zero talent, none. They can't even screen record and make good videos, all right? Because if they were good, these videos, the numbers, you would get thousands and thousands of views behind them. They literally just take screen recordings of the things we talk about, ignore everything we're saying, and then they try to act like geniuses by adding what they think we're saying to the video. And the only person that believes them, believe it or not, is nobody, because they don't even believe what they're putting out. But they're Zeus haters, and they're miserable because they know they've made a terrible decision hitching their wagon to this person right here. They have nothing to brag about. They have no golden envelope from Elon Musk that says $5,000. They don't have that. They don't have jobs. They don't have any of these things that Donald Trump. Their grocery prices have not came down at all. They've gone up. Their utility bills have not been cut in half. They've gone up. Their businesses are basically on the verge of filing for bankruptcy if they had those. Their groceries prices, they've gone up, not down. The gas has gone up, not down. These people are a bunch of low-life individuals, a bunch of losers. And I call them Zeus haters for a reason, because until they get their minds together and get out of the cult, they're prime candidates for hell. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them one last round of booze and shame. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. We are out of here. Have a great rest of your morning. We covered a lot of territory this morning. All right, we connected a lot of dots. Thank you all. Connecting the dots. Yes, go Warriors. Sunny side, dark side, backside, Lakers in 5. I'm kidding. All right, I'm kidding. Warriors in 5. All right, let's go. I appreciate all of you. All right, we got to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. You know what that means? We got to do some drill, baby, drill. We survived another show, and we will. W Smitty. Thank you all. We're going to be doing 2 rules. Craig. Take out so much money, we're going to pay down our debts.
We're going to lower your taxes. Insane asylums.
Here it
you
goes.
know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill. We're going to frack. There's a lesson for your energy. Because you know she's going to pay. You know she's going to pay you. Right? Up in there, she was against fucking against
Hey, kill me. Oh, you know what you just did right there. Thank you so much.
She said, Dragon very much love. They always go back to what they want.
They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical. And we will frack, and drill, baby, drill. Where you at, Q-Dog?
So deep, we're gonna be for
so much money, we're gonna pay down our debt. We're gonna lower your taxes.
Insane asylum.
You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. W Cindy Lou. Hey, we're gonna drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter. You know MAGA is mad because we took drill, baby, drill. We took it from them, and I can take anything because guess what? I'm Big Zeus. Here goes.
You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter.
They do.
They say, why would he mention Hannibal Lecter?
Why would you do that? What are we gonna do?
We're gonna lower your taxes.
That part.
Deep insane asylums.
Mm-hmm.
You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Drill, baby, drill.
I love that part, to be honest with you. Lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Hey, how low can you go? Hey, how low? collector time. We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. How much debt do you got? Don't worry, we'll take care of that, baby. You know how much I got. All right, we're gonna pay off all your debt, and then we're gonna lower your taxes. All right, because you know what? There's just so much liquid gold underneath our feet, and all we gotta do is drill, baby, drill, and then frack to get to it. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, take care and stay safe out there in the TikTok streets. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And again, thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. Same Zeus time,